I saw her a second time. I said Big Booty Latina again. Everybody thought it was the same as the first video. It got 1 million views, but it just didn't hit. And I was feeling all sick about it. I was like, I hadn't seen her in 3 years, and I go up there with that weak ass shit again. And then guess what? I go into the freaking Amex lounge at Reagan International Airport, and who is sitting right there next to the buffet? AOC.
Tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
All right, everybody, welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. That's right, just Wolfpack Gold. Just go to samtripoli.gold and use the promo code Tinfoil, and you too can get in on the precious metals game for as little as $50 a month, sent right to your door. We are excited here on Tinfoil Hat. On my other show, we call this Conspiracy Christmas. We have one of our favorite people on planet Earth, a guy who should be in the discussion for Mount Crushmore. The one, the only, primetime Alex Stein. How are you, brother?
Dude, it's always a pleasure, Sam, Johnny. Thank you guys for having me. I will say this, Sam. Everything is so insane right now. You've been talking about conspiracies now almost 10 years, and we were talking a little bit on the phone. It's just kind of weird to see where everything's going, and now everybody is red-pilled. So now everybody's a conspiracy theorist. It used to be very niche. Now, if you're not a conspiracy theorist, you're lame. It's insane how the tide has just totally changed in the last 10 years. I think a big part of that is you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. There are people that aren't conspiracy theorists, and they're the new weirdos. They're the new schizos, you know?
Exactly. Well, I go to a lot of colleges. Every college kid knows about Tower 7. Every college kid knows about flat Earth. Even if they don't think the Earth is flat, they know, you know what I mean? They know the moon landing's probably BS. They know something about some sort of conspiracy that 10, 15 years ago you'd be laughed at if you even publicly said that. And now it's basically just okay. And because I'm on Tinfoil Hat, and it's always such a pleasure and privilege to come on this great podcast and this great show, Sam, we got to talk about space. I'm a space nut. That Artemis mission was total garbage, dude. That was the fakest, dumbest waste of money I've ever seen in my entire life. The backside of the moon. No man's ever seen the backside of the moon. We finally get to reverse doggy style the moon, and it looks like total shit. I mean, it looked like the front of the moon. It was just the fakest shit I've ever seen. And it pisses me off that everybody was just like AI slop. Oh, we're back to the moon. We're back to the moon. It makes me sick, Sam.
I know you, dude. Is he blowing out? He's so excited. Is he blowing out his mic?
Zoom does a pretty good job of taking care of that.
We'll clean it up. We got the technology.
I think it's okay.
Thank you, China. You're totally right. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me how just people just accept, if you lie once, okay, that happens, who doesn't tell their girlfriends a couple, stories just because you don't want her to ask to look at your Pornhub search history, okay? But when every time you lie, at some point you just gotta go, what are we doing here, dude? And it just makes no sense. And it's and it's almost like it's gone along the lines of nonlinear warfare, where they almost are so bad at it, you ask if it's almost on purpose. Are they purposely fucking with us just so people like us argue with the people that want to just deep throat in space?
Well, Sam, you're exactly right. That is the psyop. That's a psychological operation, is they want us arguing about it. That's why they leave little breadcrumbs when it comes to JFK or the moon landing, is because they want to give the conspiracy theorists something to attach themselves to be able to actually have a fair debate with the people that actually believe the official story. And it's all done on purpose, so we're constantly arguing, and you've been doing this long enough, you realize that is the plan, make us fight with each other, and then we won't hold any of the politicians or people in power accountable. And it's working perfectly, because all these boomers I've noticed, and listen, I'm a guy, I'm a conservative guy-ish, I lean definitely in conservative, but to see all the people that are not criticizing Donald Trump after saying that he's not going to start a war and starting a war, these are the same people that were like, oh, I'm not going to get a vaccine, I'm not wearing a mask, to all of a sudden just trust the government. It's shocking to see. I'm literally shocked by the way the kind of conservative movement is gone and how it's so divided when people will just eat up this AI slop like it's real. And it's really frustrating. I'm really frustrated.
It is frustrating. And it's really weird how quickly these people got this group to turn on Thomas Massey. Like it's, and I don't even know what's real though. What is real? That's the problem with Twitter right now. It's just, you don't know what's real. And, it's like, so you got this thing, Trump gets all these essay allegations. Everyone's like, it's bullshit. There's no proof. There's no nothing. And then Thomas Massey's 1 week out from his, is it his primary or is it the
primary?
Actual,
it's just a primary. And AIPAC has spent now $12 million on this race. That's how significant they're taking this primary. Okay. Most ever spent. It's a record number of money spent on a primary race in Kentucky. You know what I mean? It's not like New York City. This is bumfuck Kentucky. No offense to Kentucky. I'm just saying. This
we
is
love
the middle
Kentucky.
Of nowhere. I just in Lexington. I love Kentucky. But Kentucky, they're going to invest $12 million in Kentucky. I mean, the only thing we know them for is basketball. But what do you do? What are we doing here, guys?
And horse racing, which is weird because the chick was a horse face. So this horse face chick comes out and is like, he wanted to give me hush money, which is like really crazy because you have to actually go that Thomas Massey is so diabolical that he would want to push out that who got money from this slush fund to pay off victims, and then he's on the list as well. Like that's kind of somewhat diabolical. It's almost like when
Sam, I have to do a TV timeout. I listened to
that
whole entire woman's monologue. She said, "Oh, he made her feel uncomfortable." She didn't show any text messages, and they were dating. He took her on a trip to Africa. Maybe he asked her for anal. Maybe he asked her for something sexually she didn't want to do. But that's what a boyfriend does. That's the amount of I'm saying, that's the like you have a little bit. Once you're dating, I'm saying you can talk about these nasty subjects. You can talk about anal. You can talk about BJ or whatever. That's what a dating relationship is. Maybe he did give her a weird thing. It's like Aziz Ansari. He got canceled because some girl had an awkward sexual encounter with him. Yeah. He shouldn't have been canceled for that. That's that woman's fault. So it's just ridiculous because you had an awkward sexual encounter with somebody that you're consensually with. Now you're trying to cancel him for it. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, I defended this. I sneeze. I'm sorry. I defended him, even though he was a complete asshole. To comics, like complete asshole. But you're totally right. And it gets also into this grooming thing that this is a big buzzword now. Like, oh my God, he groomed me. What does that mean? That he groomed you? He just asked you to do kinky shit? Like, is that like that? Listen, ladies, you can't simultaneously cry that men are approaching you and then also cry that men are approaching you. You can't have both of those. It's like, I know you want only the top 20% to hit on you. It's not going to happen. Dudes got to take their shots. And yes, sometimes guys who aren't good looking are going to shoot their shot. And you got to let them shoot their shot and just be like, I'm not into it. And then we move on and you shoot your shot at as many chicks as possible. You can't get upset because someone you're not attracted to took their shot. It's just the way it's always been. It's just, that's why you get free drinks. That's why you get into the club when everyone else has to wait. That's why you get passes backstage and you can't sing or play a guitar because guys got to shoot their shot. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, what frustrates me with her is that she's trying to say, like you said, groom, and that he was in a powerful position. But the reason that you liked him and was sexually attracted to him is because he was in that powerful position.
100%.
And there's a lot of people that meet Thomas Massey that don't give two that he's a congressman and have no sexual interest in him. It's your fault for being interested in the clout that you potentially could have gotten from being with Thomas Massey. So it's just like we need to hold these women a little more accountable when they come out here with these Me Too allegations. And there's no allegations. She didn't even say what he did. She didn't show a text message. She didn't show a selfie in bed with him. Nothing. Like, it's just, it pisses me off, and it's obviously being done to try to hurt his campaign. And because he wants to what? Release Epstein files? He's got like the most conservative voting record on Capitol Hill, and they're mad at him because he wants to hold pedophiles accountable. So that should really piss a lot of people off for all the people that are anti-massing now for just wanting transparency when it comes to the sexual trauma that children face by the most elite, powerful people in America and across the world.
Yeah, you're totally right about it's like, I remember Steve-O, I bring this up all the time. Steve-O once said that women want to have sex with famous men more than men want to have sex with women. And this was back when guys wanted to bang chicks. Apparently these kids don't want to do it anymore, which is fucking crazy to me. But, so you realize like what kind of catnip it is for these chicks to meet a super famous guy. I mean, Monica Lewinsky is known as the chick who the president, like that is street cred for them. That goes on their Wikipedia. That goes on their,
IMDb.
Yeah, that's it. It's crazy to me. And I remember one time when years ago, and this comic, I'm not going to say her name, but she's super funny, great chick. But she, during the Me Too movement, she was like, one time a guy told me he wouldn't give me stage time unless I sucked his dick. Yeah. And I'm like, one time a booker told me I was not funny and he was never going to book me ever. And he didn't even give me the option of sucking his dick. He didn't even put that on the table. I had to wait for 3 more bookers to come through before one thought I was funny. And it's this kind of weird thing. Like I got in fights with Dana and some of her friends many years ago about people get mad when a guy tries to get pussy from a chick for opportunity. And, it's not always right, but there is an opportunity to jump the line. Like, you get these actresses all doing this casting couch shit. And like what they're basically doing is like, I don't want to go to acting class. I don't want to go to auditions. I don't want to do any of this. I just want to go right to the good shit, which is getting an acting role. And if I got to sling some pee, and they all slinging pee all the time, what are we doing here? It's kind of crazy. Yes, is it wrong if you have to sleep with me to get the gig? But if it's, hey, you want the gig, give me some pee. Well, I would love that option.
Well, I mean, I think it's just like the economy of the situation. A woman doesn't have to be the funniest all the time. And same with a guy. If I could sleep my way to the top by banging some studio executive to get a TV show, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I wouldn't raw dog or doggy style. But my point is that if a woman is valuable because she's attractive to some guy, she's going to oftentimes use that. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
So they know they're hot. They know that they can kind of manipulate a guy, and they're gonna. You look at all these OnlyFans; they just simp for these. They have all these simps, and they just exploit these simps. So I'm really not mad at a female comedian exploiting some simp comedy booker for stage time. Like that's just the way the world works, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah, did you see the claviculus or whatever his name is?
Clavicular. Let's get his name right. The king of the manosphere right now. The looks maxer. I'm losing weight because of clavicular. I'm about to get on Redituatride and testosterone just to be like Clout.
I'm not against that, dude. Whatever you got to do it, buddy.
Dude, and it's funny. I just saw a clip. He was on Logan Paul's podcast. He said he would rather his dick not work than go bald. And I thought that was a bold statement. I was like, that's a bold statement, Cotton. But he really believes it.
That says a lot about that generation, doesn't it?
I know.
It's what you've talked about all the time, Sam, how they don't fuck.
I'd rather be a big dick bald guy than a full of hair fucking
every time
nub guy.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, you get with a girl and you have a limp spaghetti noodle. It doesn't matter how cool you are. They're going to be like, oh, my God, this guy had a soft dick trying to me the whole time. The guy's a total homo. Like, you don't want that. I mean, who cares? They say you're bald. Big whoop, wear a baseball hat. I mean, but that is the mindset that it's more important to be good looking than it is to be able to.
Bro, did you see the thing where he had that one guy who spent like $3 million on an OnlyFans chick?
It came out that he had spent $200,000, which is still just egregious. The Clippers, exaggerated how much he'd actually spent, but the guy had spent $200,000.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money on a chick you haven't touched.
Oh, I thought.
And then he called her fat. Sam, did you see her? Then the first thing he said, "Oh, you're fatter in person than I expected." Did you see?
And she got offended, dude.
I mean,
dude, you pay me $200,000, you can say whatever you want about me. I don't give a shit. Like $200,000, you could say the most unholy shit because people are saying it to me for free. So for $200,000, I'll take it. I want to talk to you. There's a lot to get into. One thing I want to talk about is a clip. I don't know if it was recent or it was from before, but a clip of you debating. I believe his name is Josh Shapiro.
Or Ben. What is his name? Is it Josh Shapiro? He's my I'm kind of friendly with him, but is his last name Shapiro? I thought
Yeah, it is
something else.
Shapiro,
Okay.
and that's why
Yeah,
it makes
okay.
me laugh. I don't trust any Shapiros, by the way.
No, not Ben. No
So,
way.
so is it? And like, if you say he's a nice guy, I don't have anything against him personally, but I do watch, and him and Destiny seem to be fighting out over who's the Glass Joe of debating, like from Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the guy that anyone could beat.
Everybody could be. Yeah.
I've never seen him win, maybe because my clips tend to lean towards the right because the algorithm thinks I'm conservative. I'm not, but what is it? Does he just have a humiliation kink or something like that? Because it's like the craziest shit I've ever watched. Like, everything is about Nazis and about Trump, and he gets super emotional very quickly. When you found out you were going up against Josh, were you excited? Was it like an easy win for you, or
Well,
what?
no, I think it's Brian Shapiro. It's Brian Shapiro.
Is it Brian Shapiro?
Yeah.
Okay, Brian Shapiro.
Okay.
Sorry, Brian, you're not Josh. Brian Shapiro.
Brian's a nice guy. I've debated him a couple times. We had him on Tim Pool's show where I debated him. I would say that Brian is 100% a libtard, but he's not as libtarded as like the blue-haired libtards. Like, he's kind of more of a moderate guy, and he's the same way that the MAGA people will defend Donald Trump no matter what he does. He's the exact same thing. He'll defend the left no matter what it is. He'll act like he cares that people are being rude to trans people when they're trying to pee next to women in the bathroom, but he really doesn't. Like, Brian knows that men should not be interested in peeing in the women's locker room. Like, I think he's actually, maybe Destiny, I think Destiny actually believes it more. I think Brian's a little more based in reality. He just debates this because he knows it triggers people on the right. And I think that's his overall objective, is to fight with the right, not necessarily defend like these crazy viewpoints.
Sure, he's making some money doing it. I mean, could be good money. Yeah. I mean, you get paid a lot of money to throw a fight all the time if you know you're going to lose. And like, I have nothing against Brian. If you say he's a good guy, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I'm just saying he's not. He's attacked all my friends. I'm just saying, like, from talking to him off camera, this and that, he is a gambler. He's actually a little more sensible. He's a little more. It's like how they say I'm more left wing, than I come off as. He's more right wing than he comes off. So it's like and that's where I think most of us are. Most of us are in the middle. Like, certain issues, some people are pro-choice or pro-life. So there's a few like keystone foundational issues that divide people, but the majority of issues, especially domestic issues, most people are aligned. The same. I would argue. So I think that's where he is. He's kind of in the middle, and he's just purposely picking fights because he's trying to get attention. He's trying to be provocative. He's trying to have these debates because people like debate content. So you are right. He is the guy that puts over Hulk Hogan. Like, he's a jobber. He's a guy that's
he's a jobber, dude. It's so funny. So is Destiny, but I think you're right. I think Brian understands what's going on. I think Destiny believes what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I've never seen him win a debate. Ever. Yeah, he, obviously all the weird shit happening off camera that kind of has taken Destiny down. It's like unbelievable that a blue hair person is a scumbag. Now, listen, I don't know how you believe. I think we probably line up. I really don't care what adults do with adults. Get as weird as you want.
Yeah, that's how I mean, I don't like the trans kid stuff, but I'm not like, if adult wants to put on a dress, put on a stupid dress. You look like an idiot, but whatever. I just want you to go pee next to my
don't use a woman's
wife,
bathroom, and don't compete against women. And
that's it.
That's really
I don't even give a shit. That's
it. Common sense shit. Like, that's all I say. I don't give a shit if you want to dress like a fucking chick. It really doesn't bother me.
And I'm not anti-gay. I'm not anti-gay at all. You make gay jokes. I make gay jokes. People like construe that as, oh, we're anti-gay. Like, I always say this. I'm very pro-gay because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So I have gay pride 17 extra weeks of the year. I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I have to be pro-gay. So I'm not, that's another thing, is like, they try to label, like they want to label you a conservative. You're not even really super conservative. It's all about labels, because they have to fit everybody into a box in order to be able to, I guess, understand where they're coming from and whether they should like them or not.
So last night I got asked to do a friend's birthday show at this bar, and I don't play bars like I used to. I used to be called the greatest bar comic of all time because I came up in bars. I understood how to get the energy and get people to focus. Well, I haven't done it in a while. So, and I've done this room twice, and the energy is always crazy. So, but I go in there and I walk in, and it's like every demographic that hates me, right? There were trans, gays, liberals, blacks, Latinos. But what I found that night was that people are really chill. And when you bring up that's like on the internet, I think you're 100% correct. And that's getting into this roast that just happened that everybody is losing their fucking minds about on the internet. But off the internet, everyone I talked to that night was like, that shit was funny, dog. It was fucking funny. Even the black people in the crowd who were supposed to be offended by everything that Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe said, they said they laughed their asses off. It's very weird. Like these social media apps are just a trauma drama deliverance system to get us all at each other's fucking throats. Now, what is your take on the roast? Do you have any opinions on it? While it's hot,
I got a lot of opinions. I watched it all. I would say this though, when it comes to like actual hate, Shane Gillis is, at the top of this game. I don't think he has any hate in him whatsoever. But by watching Pete Davidson, and there's a lot of people that criticize Tony and the Austin comedy scene. There's a lot, especially the people in New York and LA. But you could tell that Pete Davidson was actually pissed that Tony Hinchcliffe is on top and that he's not. You know what I mean? Because there was a time when Pete Davidson was way on top, banging Ariana Grande. He was considered the top dog in the game. And then now that Tony was, Tony to Kill Tony's number one show, just signed a deal with Fox, you could tell that he actually had animosity. That's the impression that I got, that he was actually mad. He was trying to call him right wing and all that stuff because he really did want to try to life ruination, exploit him, not just hurt his feelings. So what I took from it, the racial stuff, not a big deal at all. Like some slavery jokes, some people got mad about that. I would say the only real vitriol I saw was Pete Davidson towards Tony Hinchcliffe. I thought that was he was pretty pissed.
I think Chelsea Handler had some vitriol too, and she took a
shot.
shot.
Of course, yeah, duh. But I guess I was. Chelsea she definitely had her feelings hurt. She was butthurt. But I just thought Pete Davidson was the guy that was just openly hostile. I was like, damn, he really hates that Kill Tony is the number one show. He hates it.
Now, what is this is a question we asked on the last show to each other on the show. But my question to you is, when we see these people, and so much of it is just content creators looking for something to make content on. And here we are making content on it, right? You could say we're doing the same shit. But I want to ask you, like, in your opinion, what does equality look like? If we were like, hey, dude, we just achieved equality, what does that look like to you? Because I thought that roast is kind of symbolic of equality because everyone got lit up. Every group got lit up. Everybody got made fun of. And to me, that is when we're all equal, we all equally get made fun of and criticized and all that shit. And there should be no protected classes. But to you, if Alex Stein was in charge of equality and his job is to, state when we've achieved that level of equality, what does that look like to Alex Stein?
That looks like Chud the Builder criticizing everybody on the street, vice versa, except for Israel. That's the one topic that we should not criticize. I think everybody's fair game, but equality, as long as Israel is not made fun of or lambasted or lampooned at all, then that's equality. But once we start getting into that territory, I think we've definitely crossed the line.
You think that's too far?
Oh, that's way to criticize Benjamin Netanyahu to me is a hate crime, and I don't know if you should serve a long jail sentence, but at least a month.
Like, how many years do you think, Alex, would be the perfect amount? Like, if I say Netanyahu
for a tweet, if you tweet for a retweet, 90 days, but if you quote tweet, 2 years. Yeah, I mean, at least minimum 2 years, over 700 days.
That is going to get clipped. Hey, guys, we've been talking about forever about fiat money ain't worth anything. If you want to solidify your cash, stabilize it, precious metals are the best place to put your money. And the best place to get precious metals is our good friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. That's right. Wolf Pack Gold. Let me tell you about Wolfpack Gold. If you're paying attention, you know that de-dollarization is real. Fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver has been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all things precious metal. Veteran-owned and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small, and you can even roll over your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, think again. With the Wolfpack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. So go to samtripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. And remember, in the world of bulls and bears, be the wolf. Hey guys, listen, everybody is more busy than ever, okay? And it's real hard to get a proper nutritious meal, and that's why I love my friends at Home Chef. Listen, I'm not organized enough to be a meal prep person, but with Home Chef, my meals are on point every time. The meals are widely impressive and so easy to make. I count on Home Chef weekly delivery to stock my fridge and take care of my meal planning. I'm not only saving time, but I also reduce dishes and cleanup.
Home Chef makes cooking simple. Fresh food delivered, easy recipes to follow, and meals that actually taste great. No long shopping lists, no complicated prep, and best of all, easy cleanup. I love easy cleanup.
Yeah, I love easy cleanup.
My number one priority. It's perfect for busy lunches, whether you need a 30-minute meal, an oven-ready tray, or even a quick microwave lunch. Home Chef has you covered, and people really love it. Home Chef is rated #1 by users of other meal kits for quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. Customers say they spend less time planning, shopping, and prepping meals. Plus, it's affordable. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. Home Chef takes the stress out of your week with convenient weekly deliveries to keep your fridge stocked and eliminate meal planning and grocery runs, making it easy to eat well, save time, and enjoy quick and delicious meals even on your busiest days.
So here, for a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free desserts for life. That means life, okay? Go to homechef.com/tinfoil. That's homechef.com/tinfoil for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. That's homechef.com/tinfoil. Must be an active subscriber to receive free desserts. And we thank them for sponsoring the show.
But no, you are right, though. Qualities, we should be able to make fun of everybody. But I would argue that right now we have guys like Chud the Builder who, that's insane. I don't really co-sign anybody just going up to random people and antagonizing them by calling them a racial slur. The same reason I wouldn't want a black guy coming up to me and be like, you stupid cracker, white piece of shit.
I would love that because I would laugh. Cracker's so funny.
I would laugh too. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, to antagonize just to call somebody out for their race or that they're disabled or something like that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like we're trending in the wrong direction. But when it comes to Chud the Builder, that's where we're at, where he has a lot of fans. People like that. We can literally, I think, right now, I would argue, especially on Twitter or online, you can basically make fun of anybody. Black people, Chinese people, Indians. I'm in Dallas. There's 1/3 of all the Indians that have migrated to America are in the DFW area. So I've been teasing Indians a lot. It doesn't mean I hate Indians, but there is one person you can't tease. Shane Gillis made a joke about the Holocaust, or not the Holocaust, about the genocide in Gaza. And that was the big headline, he blames Chelsea Handler for being being pro-Israel. Like, notice how that was a big thing. So I still think there is one subject that they don't really like us to joke about.
Yeah. And it's funny to me because even though I think that's retarded and it shouldn't be a rule, and we talked about this on last show, but if I was a protected class, I would be the same way. I'd be like, no, you can't talk. And I would just stomp my feet and fucking cry because I would love to be able to blame anything I do wrong on hate. And it's like, I have a lot of Jewish friends. My girlfriend's Jewish. I love Mitzi Shore is the only reason anyone even knows who the fuck I am. So, but and I don't really get mad at them because their silence really is their protest. You can tell who's like really quiet, base is really protesting what's going on because they've been just
Sam, most Jewish people are secular and laid back and could care less. You know, it's just a few Mark Levins and Laura Loomers that I think create more anti-Semitism. I almost think they are a psyop because most, like I said, I love Jewish people. I do think Jewish people should run the world because let's say I get in a car accident and I go to the ER. Do I want a black doctor, a Mexican doctor, or a Jewish doctor? I want a Jewish doctor. Let's say I get in a serious criminal court case. I'm on trial for my life. Do I want a black attorney, a Mexican attorney, or a Jewish attorney? Some things are good
if
at.
you can get an
I mean,
Armenian, dude. If you can't afford a Jew, get an Armenian. We're like 99-cent Jews. Johnny, shut the up, okay? We have everything you want. We're super smart. We had our own Holocaust. We got everything. And this is what I've learned about lawyers. You don't want good-looking lawyers either. You want unattractive lawyers who are angry at the world and just want to scorch the earth. Good-looking people have it too easy. They're not going to fight that hard. Ugly guys want to burn down the house because they didn't get pussy in high school. So you want
as long as my attorney has a yarmulke, I don't give a damn what they look like. I just want to make sure they have a big yarmulke on their head, and I'll sleep well at night before my trial.
So we have this Spencer Pratt election going on. Friend of show, friend of in life, James Lee is very focused on his Zionism. Spencer Pratt's Zionism.
Where's James live, by the way? Do you know?
James
he
Lee
used to be on like Gray
Does he live in LA?
No, I think he lives in either San Diego or LA.
Okay.
But I know he used to be like I think on the Gray Zone, and then but his social media is huge.
Yeah, he's great at his job. I'm a big fan of his.
But this is now why I'm fully behind Spencer Pratt, even if he is a Zionist or whatever they want to say. I don't know. I don't know James Lee's full complaints. I know that obviously if Spencer Pratt's lived in LA and worked in Hollywood his whole life, he probably has a lot of Jewish friends and family.
There it is.
Like, I mean, you know what I'm just saying?
It's impossible not to.
It's impossible not to. So he's not going to be rude to people, which I totally understand. I think that would be very smart for him to not alienate powerful Jewish people in Los Angeles. But where I think the big conspiracy is the fact that TMZ is allegedly working against Spencer Pratt. They want to make sure that he doesn't win, which you would think, because we live in the clown world, and Elon Musk said this, usually the craziest outcome happens because that's what they want. They want the craziest outcome. And so if TMZ wants to get the most headlines and most clicks, you would want Spencer Pratt to be the mayor and messing up stuff and da-da-da, because that's more salacious than having Karen Bass in, who you kind of have to defend. So I think it's just very weird that there are people in powerful positions that are encouraging TMZ to cancel him. Because did you see that interview where they tried to cancel him for saying that he lived on his burnt down house in the trailer when really he was at a hotel, which doesn't even matter because that's still his house. That like they were trying to cancel him, and I think Spencer gave some good rebuttals, but they just wouldn't let go. He's like, guys, even though I'm not staying at my burnt down house, that's still my home. I didn't misrepresent my home. Like, that is a video of my home. They're trying to cancel him because he tried to insinuate he's living.
But he also said, Alex,
really he's living at the Bel Air Hotel is what
that they just turned on the electricity and they just turned on the water. So he couldn't live in there because he didn't have any electricity or water going on there. It took like months and months and months just for the city to give him that. So it's like what you want him to do is live in a shell that doesn't have water or electricity. It's like impossible. He has kids, man. Like
who gives a shit what? But Sam, who gives a shit where he lives? It doesn't matter. He's talking about the issues that he's campaigning on, not whether he's in the Bel Air Hotel or he's in his burnt down cabin or burnt down Airstream. It doesn't matter. But that's what they want to argue. They want to try to
because they're trying to get him on a technicality. That's what they're trying to get on.
And that's one thing. Politics is the nastiest game. I don't encourage anybody to ever become a politician, and there's a reason why Tucker won't run, because he's already getting canceled constantly. Imagine if he was a politician, they'd really come after him. Like, politics is just so dirty and nasty.
It's so dirty, dude.
It's so gross.
And you're so close to it. God bless, dude. I have no desire.
In LA, he's not a communist, and he could become the mayor of LA. It's a slam dunk. He's the guy to vote for because everybody else running is a fucking communist in this city. I mean, who cares if he's got some weird tweets about anti-Semitism from 5 or 10 years ago? Like, I don't get this is
You're
idea
never going to
of-
get a perfect person.
No,
ever.
no, and
No.
and as soon as we, the people with common sense, start having litmus tests like that, we're just gonna ruin this whole thing.
And I would argue this. I don't know all of his, personal ideologies or every single stance, but I guarantee he cares more about L.A. than he does Tel Aviv. And there's some politicians
Yes.
I don't think that. Like I do think Randy Fine is probably a little more worried about the well-being of the people in Tel Aviv than the people in Florida. But I get the impression that Spencer Pratt actually cares about L.A., where he's trying to raise his family, where he's lived his whole life, and is probably more interested in making L.A. a better place than he is giving money or support to Israel. So just because he's supportive of that country, we're talking about a mayor race in LA and a guy that's actually not an establishment candidate that might shake things up. And maybe he makes some mistakes, but who cares? Nobody can make a worse mistake than not putting water in the water reservoirs. I mean, that is just simple shit that they can't do and they have no excuse for.
The only people running are people we already know can't run the government. You know what I mean?
100%.
No brainer.
It 100%. And that phone call she makes like a day before or 2 days before, where she's like, I'm leaving. I can't tell you why. You'll realize it very soon. I mean, they didn't even let him bring that up in the fucking debate. That debate was so controlled, and they still got their lady dicks kicked in. I mean, they got annihilated, and it was the most controlled debate I've ever seen. 30-second responses, 30-second responses. No one could get into it. They couldn't ask each other questions. But it's like, perfection is the enemy of good, right? And it's an old, and I'm a butcher, I'm paraphrasing it, but it's like in a society that demands perfections, only liars can thrive. And it's 100%. You're only going to get a liar who will tell you what you want to hear. And you see that in entertainment as well. Like these people project this false brand, this false identity, and then when they get really big and the truth comes out, they lose everything because people just can't accept that there's just human beings out there and human beings make mistakes. Like the Elijah of Schaefer shit, it's like, I'm not going to say like what he did was fine. I'm really over this whole thing about men and women cheating on each other. It just happens way too much for me to think this is outlier shit and we should get really upset with people. I don't know what's going on in the home. That's my biggest thing. What's going on in the home? I don't know. Is she giving him everything he wants and he's still stepping out? I don't fucking know, dude. But it's like I told Elijah when I DM'd him, it's like, sometimes it's really hard to be human. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be a fucking human being is really fucking hard because people demand perfection. Now, if you sell yourself as something far right or far left, that's when.
Well, I think that's where people are a little mad is that Elijah kind of does act like he's a trad guy and really he's blasting.
Yeah, you can't be trad and get pegged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't try to pretend to be super trad because I'm not. I mean, I'm a wild guy. But I will say this. I was watching a YouTube video about Machiavelli, and he was right about some stuff, but I think he was right about this. He says most people are good, but most people in power are bad because they had to do something to get in that position of power that was bad. They had to step over somebody. They had to screw somebody over. And that's usually why the people in power are bad, because in order to get there, you have to do bad things. And I think that's kind of where we're at. It's like Karen Bass has probably screwed over a bunch of people and whatever and lied on people to get people canceled because that's how you have to play the game to get in power. And Spencer Pratt hasn't done any of that. And that's why it's kind of crazy that they're trying to do this coordinated effort to cancel him so that they can put in a candidate that they know is going to be evil and be able to be bought and sold like, a commodity on Wall Street.
I did Jimmy Dore's show and he had Tucker Carlson on, and it was very cool to be able to do a interview with Tucker Carlson. And he brought up that about how like women, they're always like, if women were in power, they would be, we wouldn't have all these wars. And he goes, that's not what I've noticed being in Washington, D.C. forever. They're actually worse. And I was telling him that the biggest liars, and people can clip this and say whatever the they want, but the biggest liar is the progressive female in politics, because that goes against everything women and liberal progressivism, okay? Because most of the progressives I know don't want to hold office. They want to work on a street level, or I should say liberals. Progressives are retards. But liberals want to work they want to feed the homeless. They want to help the environment, whatever that is. They're never like, I want power. And then females tend to go into empathy occupations, nursing, teaching, therapy, all that stuff. That's a very heavy female because that's empathy and that's helping people. A female politician is the opposite of both of those. So they have to, like, that's why Hillary Clinton is so crazy to work your way up that high in the politics. Takes a serial killer, psychopath ideology and personality to get to that level, because you literally must kill people to get there. And so when you say, like, anybody run for any office, like Spencer Pratt is the one, and I'm going to give him this little thing because I've said this before. When you're voting, you're picking between a neocon Zionist or a fucking progressive Bolshevik. Like, those are your choices. That's all they're kind of giving us right now. So I'm going to give them a little leeway on that because I think there's bigger problems right now. And those big problems are the city of Los Angeles is dying. It's like, it was so cool even before Johnny got here. Like, it was like people from New York used to shit on LA all the time. I'm like, you guys don't even get it, dude. It's the fucking best. And now it's not.
It's also a city, by the way, a municipality. It doesn't have a foreign policy. It's like, okay, so if we a Zionist, it's not like we're sending an ambassador to, Tel Aviv.
But Sam, the problem too is what made LA so great is that you had all these productions, and now they've all moved to Texas, and they've moved all across the country. It used to be the whole entire industry dominated Hollywood dominated the entertainment industry. You couldn't even be in it if you didn't live in LA or New York, and basically you wanted to live in LA. And now that's not the case. They let that whole entire industry basically die. So I don't know how you revive that. You give them tax breaks, you make more movies there, but that is a huge thing. And I think that's part of the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. It used to be every reality show was Laguna Beach, The Hills, the show that Spencer Pratt was on, and it doesn't have that cool cachet that it used to have 10 years ago. It used to be the coolest place on earth, and now
rich kids ruined it. There used to be outlaws. Back in the day at the Comedy Store, you would have people like Joey Diaz and Rogan and Brian Holtzman, and even before that, almost every comic was just a crazy person. And now it's not. Now the young comics are great. I will always defend them. They're great writers.
Well, another TV timeout has the porn industry now that everybody's on OnlyFans, because that was another reason why LA was kind of cool. There's always like porn stars around. You did that show. What was it? The Naughty Show? What did you say?
Johnny's so pissed he missed it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, now I don't know, maybe we're everybody's on OnlyFans, so like just all those industries, whether it's the Hollywood TV shows or even the porn industry. Not that I'm pro porn, I'm just saying, like, LA it just doesn't have the motion that it just had 10 or 15 years ago. It's been sanitized or homoicized. I don't know how to, what adjective.
The only thing that I will say about Southern California, why it will always be in the game, it just has to get out of its own way, is the weather. There's nothing like Los Angeles. It's like Florida's amazing, but during the summer it gets super sticky. LA is just, and especially San Diego, like San Diego is God's country. So it will always be in the game. It just needs to get out of it. And I'm telling you, Alex, what you're watching right now is a controlled demolition. Like, the people running everything realize that the whole middle of the Hollywood is just progressive rot. And they can't make anything without it being just going through the lens of progressivism. That's what the writers are pitching. That's what the writers believe. They all, it's like, because to get a job in LA for the longest time, you need 20 green lights. You get one red light, you're never fucking working. And it just takes some chick who just got a job out of fucking Berkeley, not liking the fact that you don't think trans should be able to suck off kids. You know what I'm saying? So you get a red light. So they have to bend over backwards saying the dumbest shit. You saw all these comics doing that, promoting their specials, attacking Rogan because they knew the progressive left of Hollywood hated fucking Rogan. So they have to implode it. They have to fucking implode it, and then it will be built back up because everyone wants to live in this weather. It's the best weather in the country.
It is the best weather in the world. But I'm not even trying to name drop, but Roseanne Barr has a new show coming out. I don't even know what streaming platform it's going to be, but it was all shot in Austin. Tony Hinchcliffe has a guest role. She gave me a very small part. Randy Quay's in it. And what I thought was crazy, though, Sam, because now all the LA people are now in Austin. There's a bunch of productions working there.
Rogan took all the heat from LA and brought it to Austin.
He did. But so we have base camp, and then I had to go to where the wardrobe was, like at the studio that they were renting. And dude, the woman's, fixing me, oh, you're friends with Roseanne. She's like, I fucking hate Roseanne. Now I'm talking like Roseanne, but the woman's like, she's the costume designer on the show. Is like, I fucking hate Roseanne. I don't like her politics. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you working on this show? And she's like, well, I need a gig. I'm like, have you talked to Roseanne? Have you met Roseanne? Because Roseanne obviously is conservative or, conservative leaning, even though she's not super far right. But
she's a sage, man. I don't agree with her on Israel, but she's a sage.
She's the best.
Dude. She's a sage.
She's very pro-Israel. I know that rubs people the wrong way, but she is pro-Israel, and I don't fault her. I think that's good that she's passionate about it. But my point is this: it's like you can't escape it. This woman was talking shit about the woman that gave her a fucking job. It made me sick. I didn't even tell Roseanne because I know Roseanne would be upset and that girl would get fired. But that's like that industry in LA where if you're not progressive, the costume woman won't even basically give you clothes. Like it's just that's why good shit can't be made because most of us are in the middle. You know what I mean? And they don't look at everything through a political lens. Most people look through life through a non-political lens. I would argue.
But also, like, why would you tell anybody that?
Yeah, that's what I didn't get. The professionalism. Why just keep your opinion to yourself?
Dude, this person's putting money in your pocket.
I hate Donald Trump. I fucking hate Donald Trump. I'm like, okay, great. Give me.
Why are you on this show? I mean, I'm not saying you got to like everybody you work with, but when it's that person's show and they brought work to your area and you can hate them. I don't give it. I'm not saying this is high school. We all got to be cool and popular, but it's like, why even bring that up to anybody? That should be your little secret. That is a problem with the young people. They don't know how to keep a fucking secret. It's like, all I'm telling my daughters, we don't snitch. We don't snitch. We're not. My daughter would be like, da, 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 da. I go, we thank you for telling me. We don't snitch. Tripoli's aren't snitchers. We don't run around and gossip. Okay. We keep, because if you watch all these girls coming out, you remember the Tiger Woods fucking scandal?
Elin Nordegren. Yeah, I remember.
There was one chick that got any work after that. And that was the original chick. And she was the only one that wouldn't talk. And everyone goes, oh, that bitch is good, dude. That's a good chick right there, dude. She can keep her mouth shut. The rest of them yapping. Nothing happened to them. They just all got excommunicated because even on the left, they're all scumbags, right? They're all like perverts and scumbags. Nobody wants to snitch on their payroll. Like, nobody wants that. Keep a fucking secret. Guys, listen, everything is incredibly expensive, right? Food, gas, everything. Well, if I told you there was a way to get money back on your purchases. Yeah, that's right. Our good friends at Upside are doling out the Lawerence every time you use your Upside app to pay for gas and other amazing things. Let me tell you about Upside. Gas, groceries, eating out, even on the tightest budget, there's no escaping them. But here's what you can control. Getting cash back every single time you fill up. Hit the grocery store or go out to eat with the Upside app.
The free Upside app gets you cash back on gas, groceries, and dining. Those big three things that are always draining your wallet. And here's how it works. You just open the app, claim an offer, and pay with your card like normal. Then you get paid. It's that simple. It's incredibly simple. Wouldn't you agree, Sam?
I agree.
And yes, it's cash back, not points you'll never use or credits that will eventually expire. It's cash back, money you can transfer straight into your bank account. That's not marketing speak. Independent studies confirm that Upside users earn significantly more than traditional rewards programs. Over 100,000 participating locations means once you start checking the app, you realize how often there's an offer right where you're already going. Users earn $1 million in cash back every single week. And unlike with other programs, you can stack Upside with your existing credit card and loyalty rewards.
Dude, Hall Pass ice cream? Get out of here, dude. That's amazing. I love that place. It's one of my favorite ice cream places. And you get 6% back. Come on now, dude. That's amazing. Upside is giving back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you can earn, download the free Upside app and use promo code Tinfoil Hat to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using the promo code Tinfoil, and we thank them for sponsoring the show. Guys, I mean, how many times you've been like needing cash and your paycheck isn't for a couple days or even a week? Well, guess what? Our new sponsor, Earnin, allows you to access your cash early. That's right. Waiting is disrespectful. Seriously, waiting sucks. I hate waiting for things like spiritually, like hold music should be illegal. Earnin is an app, not a bank, that gives you access to money you've already earned. Up to $150 a day, up to $1,000 between checks. Tips are optional, and standard transfers take like 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already using it. Time just feels different when you're not waiting around to make moves. You know what's really pisses me off? You ever had like, hey, I got to pull my money from this website or that website? They're like, we'll deposit in 3 to 5 days. Why do I got to wait 3 to 5 days? Why can't you put that cash in my account now? Give me my money, man. I'm so sick and tired of that. And I'm just looking, did it deposit? Enough of that. Earnin says enough of that. You got the money, we give you the money. I love that. Thank you guys for doing that. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play. Spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Tinfoil Hat under podcast when you sign up. It will really help the show. All right.
Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
We thank them for sponsoring the show.
And now, too, you see Ashley St. Clair, who is a friend of mine. I actually like Ashley St. Clair, but, you know, she's been going viral for exposing Elon and all these dirty secrets. So people know that they can go online and get a multi-million view TikTok video by exposing something. So I think that's part of this snitch culture. Is
but where does that lead
we didn't
to?
used to have where you could go viral. I don't know where it leads.
Nobody's
we already have we already live in a surveillance state.
Yeah,
we already live in a surveillance state. So
but who's gonna hire her? Like, that's it. Like, who? Okay, you're giving out all these secrets. That's fucking great. Good for you. You have no integrity.
Some leftist organization might hire her.
But even the leftist organizations are full of fucking scumbags. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's like, yeah. So what stops her from outing them too? Eventually going, I work for fucking Pussy Power, and Pussy Power is a bunch of fucking racist scumbag. Like, what stops her from doing that there? Nobody fucking wants to. Yeah, Pussy Power. I work for the biggest mistake of my life. You know.
Speaking of Pussy Power, though, and I'm not trying to change the subject. I don't know if you're tight with Akash, but have you seen all the drama with Akash leaving Andrew Schultz's podcast?
I feel bad for that guy.
I feel bad for him, too, because I think that his wife is actually hot, and he realizes that he has a hot babe and that he needs to let her get on podcasts and, you know, get a little motion for herself, and then it all bites him in the ass. So I actually feel bad because I understand his position where he's trying to make his wife happy while simultaneously trying to not look like a simp online. So it's just he's in a really hard limbo, really a hard tightrope to walk.
Yeah, and I'm sad because he struck gold on that show. Being on that show is a blessing, and for you to be so traumatized that you want to leave it, you know, just makes me sad because they were a great combination. They're both super funny. They're both super fast, and they ran a great weave together, dude. You know, so
I think Akash on that show is way better. That's why I don't understand why he's leaving. I don't think Andrew. I don't know this. I just speculate. I don't think Andrew's making him leave. But
no, I think Akash left because he probably had pressure from his wife. I that's the only thing.
Hot. She is hot. You know what I mean?
She is hot. She is hot. And it just gets to this thing where it's like, Matthew Stafford's wife did the same thing, just totally threw him under the bus.
He was my high school quarterback. I played with him at Highland Park High School, and Matthew's actually a good guy. The reason, though, that Kelly is like
Did you know Kershaw?
Yeah, I played baseball with Kershaw, Little League Baseball. I'll send you the picture of it after this. And
That's
was a stud
crazy,
back then. They played
dude.
a grade up. Him and Matt played a grade up in baseball because they were so good. I'll send you after this. I'll send you a picture of my on the Little League team with Matthew and Clayton. But this is a little difference with Matthew. He has been dating Kelly since they were in college. She was a cheerleader. She was an all-conference basketball player. Could have played college basketball. Her brother was Chad Hall, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles. So her making that joke that she dated the backup quarterback got him canceled. But in Kelly's defense, I will say this, and a lot of people don't understand, she considers herself an equal to Matthew. But that's not how most of these superstar relationships are, because most of them aren't invested and dated them since they were 19 years old. So that's why she has the ability to be a little more outspoken when it comes to Matthew, because he respects her as an athlete. He respects her opinion. Still, her saying that she could, tease them by going out with a backup quarterback, that looks bad. But to her defense, she's a type A personality. She's probably more intense than Matthew, if that makes sense.
No, I get that, but it gets into the point where it's like, you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to kind of protect that brand, at least until he's out of the NFL. Right, out of the NFL.
Yes.
Once he's out of the NFL,
I think she stopped the podcast. I don't think Kelly still does the podcast.
Yeah, she got a ton of shit for. I don't know. Stand by your man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. Who am I to tell?
Well, no. I totally understand what you're saying, and Matthew definitely got soft canceled for that. But because I've known them, she kind of looks like the boss to Matthew, and I'm not even trying to throw shade. She's just a very intense woman, and I think that's how Akasha's relationship is a little bit with him. Is like she's a hot babe, she's young. He probably can't get a hotter babe than her in his mind. He probably could, but in his mind, he's probably brainwashed. And that's what I'm saying, because he's a popular guy. He could find, and there's definitely other hot women, but in his mind, he's like, well, I like this woman. I can't get any better, so he's going to bend over backwards for her. And she just said some stuff on a podcast. He likes to pop her pussy, this and that, where now people take those clips and they can, out of context, they look really bad. I don't even think she's a slut. I'm defending her. I'm going to get, I see all these people, Myron Gaines, all bashing her. I think that she's probably just saying stuff to be a little salacious, just like Akash does. And now his $100,000 a month podcast deal is done. It's stupid.
Well, it's also that, there's currency for women to basically do phone sex. Like, there's just currency. No one will ever turn it off. Women think it's empowering. Men think it's hot. So there's so much currency in that. Why wouldn't they do that? I mean, and especially, I'm much older than you. I'm 53 years old. Almost every 20-year-old chick is at least cute to me, so like they're at least cute. So if they say something dirty, you're like, yeah. There's just currency in that. And that's what they do. And then they get older and then they're like, I don't like that. And they try to wipe it off the internet. There was this one Instagram model that I was following. She was like 20 years old and she was doing all this crazy shit on Instagram. And then just one age, she hit a certain age and she just wiped it all out. And now everything's like cute bikini chicks. And that's what you try to tell chicks. You're like, there's going to be a time where this ain't your vibe. There's a lot of currency in it right now, but your older version of you might be horrified by the things you said because you're trying to become a wife or you're trying to become a mother. You don't want anyone knowing that you were popping pussies at a fraternity show, which you're trying to tell us, meaning you're dancing, but there's no reality where popping a pussy is just dancing. I actually do. I now I'm defending her. I actually do think she meant dancing. I don't think that she meant that she was just. I could be wrong. I know all the podcasters would be like, I mean, I definitely think she might have somebody, but they both say that they lost their virginity to each other. I don't know why they would lie. But this is what I'll say though, Sam. Everything does change because I'm best friends with a guy by the name of Bubba the Love Sponge. Used to be on the Howard Stern show. I'm sure you've heard of him. Yeah. But he used to be famous. He got hired by Howard because he had the second largest FCC fine ever to Howard. And what they did was they put a dildo on an RC car and they tried to drive it into a girl's pussy. And it's, just repugnant stuff. I mean, but back then it was, it was totally cool. And then one of the biggest fights Bubba and I got into a fight about, and we actually didn't talk for like over a month,
one of his co-hosts, he made him do a thing where they had to do the Limp Bizkit thing. They had to jack off on something, and whoever didn't finish, they did this on the air. They did a Limp Bizkit thing, and the guy ate the cookie, and I brought it up on air, and Bubba was like, "Don't you ever bring up my old stuff. Don't you ever bring up that up." Like, he deleted it all off the internet. I'm like, Bubba, what do you, because this guy and I were getting in a fight, so I got to, I took a cheap shot of the guy. I was like, "Remember when you ate that guy's cum?" And Bubba freaked out, and I'm like, "Bubba, you can't hide that. That stuff happened. I know you deleted it off the internet, and now Sirius XM has it or whatever, but," and he's really ashamed of it. And I love Bubba. I will defend Bubba. I'm just saying, like, even if Bubba the Love Sponge can be cringed out by the past stuff that he did, that's going to happen to all these OnlyFans girls that are doing it. It's just inevitable that one day you're going to have a different perspective. You're going to get a little more mature. You're going to be like, "Why was I doing that?" And I think that is going to happen to a lot of young people, probably relatively soon.
Sometimes one day is tomorrow, by the way.
Exactly.
I'm saying the
That's
things
what I'm
I did
saying.
yesterday. So it's but that's
you
so
get a new
so
boyfriend or
Bubba the Love Sponge is like turned over a new leaf or something. Is that right?
Yeah, no, and he's doing good. He's syndicated. I think he's on 8 stations. His
that's
YouTube's
cool.
doing really well. Well, he let Hogan blast his wife, have sex
Yeah.
with his wife, and then he lost his Sirius job. He lost his he had a contract with Cumulus. He lost everything, and now he's been able to build it back up. So, but Bubba is
Because he's got talent.
Yeah, he's
good at his
actually
job.
fucking hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's great at his job. There's always opportunity to talented people. You just got to be able to connect. And obviously, Bubba the Love Sponge has been doing that for fucking ever, dude. So let's get into, we got psyops after psyops after psyops going on. I've been talking about this as like a bukkake of death and destruction. I'm for it. I want it all to happen at once, get it over with.
Wait, you're an accelerationist? Let's make that clear, though, Sam. Are you an accelerationist? Because
No, I'm not an accelerationist, but they keep like saying all this shit.
Sounds like it. It says right there, like, "I want it to all happen at once." It kind of sounds like an accelerationist, but I don't think you need to be ashamed of that. But it kind of sounds like that.
Well,
but,
I know accelerationists is like these underground internet guys who just want to implode the system. That's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to be like, I'm World War III, fucking Armageddon. Just do it. Just do it. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of working. That's mostly it. I work too much. I want a day off.
You do work hard. But Sam, we got to talk about all this stuff with World War III. And Owen Benjamin, shout out to Owen Benjamin, who was on Tucker Carlson's show today. And that's
Owen's fire, dude. Owen's fire.
But what I agree with Owen is that, and I agree with him on a lot of stuff, I don't believe in nuclear weapons like this.
I don't either,
they got
dude.
big bombs. They got, but
big
dude,
bombs
that's why,
go boom.
They got some big bombs, but that's why we're fighting this for enriched uranium. And then those bombs, they don't even have a delivery capability to send it to America. The farthest they could send it is to Europe. Even if they did have a nuclear weapon today, they couldn't even send it to America. And yet we're going to go start a war and bomb a school full of children. So it's all just kind of fake nonsense at this point. And it's just frustrating to watch it. Like you said, it's psyop after psyop after psyop. And what I'm really looking forward to, and they're kind of hesitant, and I think they're lying to the politicians, all the congressmen and senators that they're talking to this about, but the fake alien invasion is going to be so bad. It is going to be such
bad.
shit.
Tim Dillon was going off on that.
Yeah, and the little footage they get, Tim Dillon's had a great monologue. It's going to be so bad. His monologue had me dying laughing, but the footage came out after that, like a little blip on a screen flying by, like, "Oh, that's a UFO." It's going to be so shitty. It's like that movie with M. Night Shyamalan. You know how they only show the alien for like 1 second, and everybody's like, "Oh," and it did have that effect in that movie because you see it for 1 second, you're like, "Oh," and it kind of did. That's what they're going to give us, and they think it's going to have the same effect, but we're all desensitized because we've seen people being publicly executed this year. We watch violent pornography every single day. People aren't going to be able to see one frame of an alien walking by and be like shocked. People
my favorite is it looked like a Christmas tree ornament. They're like, "Look at this. It's we can't explain it." You're like, I literally was at a bar last night doing stand up, and the light hanging down looked exactly like the alien that they were like trying to convince us it was a big thing. And I kind of hope in my heart that wasn't the big thing. There's got to be more, because they've been talking about Project Bluebeam since Von Braun died. He's like, they're going to fake an alien attack. And then he died, right? So please tell me we got more than that. I mean, and you bring it up.
It's going to be like dinosaurs. It'll be like dinosaurs. Like, and I'm just speculating this, but I think it'll be like they're going to find a box. They're going to be like, what is this box with this weird writing? And this is an energy scepter. Da, da, da. And then it's going to be like a communication device, right? And then we're going to be able to communicate with these interdimensional beings. And then they'll see how much we're buying that. And then, oh, this is a picture of it, or this is that. Like, it's going to be a slow drip, like how they found a dinosaur bone. Oh, there's millions of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just going to be an alien walking. And I do think people are going to buy it. And it's going to be so shitty, just like this Artemis mission. That I don't know. It's just
going to be the
it's
retards, like the Hanta virus. They I don't know if anyone fell for that shit.
Well, I don't. I mean, is any the hantavirus thing is? I think it's almost people are so traumatized by COVID that most people ran with that because the hantavirus. There's nothing. Even in the media, they're like, it's not really transmissible. It's not. Nobody. It's not. There's no real threat. I mean, you've got a much greater chance of getting struck by lightning in this country than contracting hantavirus. That to me was more of a.
Johnny, I think people got excited. I think people want another pandemic. They want another $600 check. Yeah. And, it's like how there's bug chasers, people that want to get HIV. There's people that want to get sick with whatever virus is going around so they can get some sort of
they can wear a mask.
Empathy.
Yeah,
they can wear a mask. And you know what Hanta means in Hebrew?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Oh, no.
Fake. It means
scam.
It
means scam.
Yeah, scam. Yeah,
like, but that to me is just like why would you do like it? Just seems like nonlinear warfare. Like they just give us enough so that the conspiracy theorists can wage war against the normies, and then none of us come together. Like everything is divide and conquer. I don't care what it is, LeBron James versus like Jordan, whatever it is. It's always how can we divide and conquer so nobody looks up and is like that. That's the problem up here.
That's exactly what's going on in the conservative side of things. Everybody says Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson are Nazis and they're the most, horrible people in the world. Yet 6 months ago, you were all, a year ago, everybody was their biggest fan. So they have to divide and conquer whatever thing is popular or whatever thing is gaining some traction. That's immediately where they inject their paid influencers and fake news and, lies. And it makes people just fight over nonsense. Like, just think about that. The conservatives are in power, but instead of like holding Trump accountable, instead of like trying to get bills passed, like that they just campaigned on for however long they were campaigning, we're fighting about Tucker Carlson. They're calling Tucker Carlson an anti-Semite because that's what they'd rather us fight about than actually holding any politicians accountable. And it works constantly. Like the CIA, they just had that thing where they had basically admitted that the COVID was a lab leak and that they purposely tried to make
you're still in the viruses
story.
Are real. You still believe in viruses?
Well, no. I mean, I'm definitely one of these guys where I do think you can get sick. Before COVID happened,
for sure,
you get pneumonia, and I think a lot of it has to do with your immune system. If you're
there we go, buddy.
So I'm saying a lot of it is, but I do think like, come on, Sam, you believe in STDs? Like there are some transmissible diseases. No, you don't believe in STDs?
No, he doesn't. No.
Yeah. In college, I pissed fire, so obviously you can piss fire, but I think AIDS isn't real. It was never isolated.
You don't think that's man-made? Oh, you don't think? Well, I mean, people get AIDS.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's a psyop to make people think that biological like agents created by governments aren't real. That's what I think.
I'm not saying they don't got when you talk about nukes aren't real, but big bombs go boom. They got big bombs go boom.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah.
But what I believe is, it's like they've never isolated a virus, no matter how much Johnny wants to convince you. We've had doctor after doctor after doctor. Come on.
A couple doctors.
Never doctor after the show's almost 10 years old, Johnny. We have tons of doctors on, and some of them are really, I mean, dude, like I'll introduce you some guys that are just like, no, we've done deep studies. I mean, Dr. Andrew Kaufman, anytime they put out that the COVID virus was isolated, he's so smart and he knows what their lingo. He'll read the study and then he'll find like the actual study and he'll go to it and he'll read that study. And they always say this doesn't prove Cox postulates every fucking time.
I do agree that we probably can't actually isolate a virus like they say, but I think that they just use those words to describe what is happening, to describe, what the sickness is. Like I have gotten a cold before. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, you get sick, dude. You get sick. Yeah. It's your immune system's down. And I
think it is our immune system. I think
your toxic, your toxicity in your body is out of whack. So you get sick. And like environments do that. Stress, not sleeping, not eating right, not working out, anxiety.
They say not sleeping is one of the worst things for your health possible. Like if you go
100%.
72 hours without sleep, you can die.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
100%.
Yeah.
So I want to get into some with you. This just came out. Don't know if it's so there is talk about the government labeling Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes as domestic terrorism. I don't know if you've heard anything about that. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I don't think Tucker or Nick are domestic terrorists. Believe it or not, I actually would argue. I know a lot of people think Nick's a Fed, and I don't know. I just don't think so. But maybe. I will say this: those guys care more about America than 99% of the people that are calling them anti-American. So that's kind of where I'm frustrated. Is Tucker Carlson a CIA? Did his dad put out Monica Lewinsky's book to go after Bill Clinton? Maybe that can all be true, but I don't think Tucker's a cop, and I don't think Nick's a cop, but they could be. I don't know. I mean, I'm not clairvoyant, but I don't think either of them are personally.
But it always I'm with you on that, and I always say this. It's like you can tell who's lying based on how their audience is. Like you can get really big talking some smack, right?
Well, you can tell who's lying by the lying. Well, like if they're telling the truth.
I would argue that's basically the only way to get big right now is to talk smack and to start internet fights, because that's what people want to see. Like, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Quartering, but Jeremy from the Quartering, he's getting canceled for trying to get the Keno Casino people deplatformed. But my point is, it's getting so much attention because people love drama. People love when people are fighting. People love it when Candace, and I think that's part of the reason why Tucker and Nick are fighting, because Tucker took a lot of shrapnel for having Nick on his podcast, and then they immediately hate each other. But to both of them, it probably benefits them to fight a little bit because it keeps their name in the press, keeps it going. Like that is the attention economy that we live in.
It's rap
one
beefs.
of the best ways to get attention. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's rap beefs. And Biggie and Tupac probably didn't even hate each other that much.
Are you concerned about this push for domestic terrorism? Does that make you nervous at all?
Well, I'm nervous as are you kidding, Sam? See, this is the problem. Is I look at politics like this. I like Donald Trump like I like the Dallas Cowboys. I root for him, I cheer for him, but I know that the Dallas Cowboys are going to inevitably lose the Super Bowl, and I know that Donald Trump's never going to reveal the truth about 9/11. So I don't take it personally, and I think that's the problem. Is everybody takes this shit so personally, and I'm worried because whether it's AOC who becomes president and she opens up an FBI file on me, but.
Do you think there's any world she becomes president? I don't trust the
people. Is there any what?
Any world she becomes president? Do you think there's?
Yeah, I think so. But my point is, I think I'm just under as much scrutiny from the conservative side for not playing ball than I would be on the left for calling AOC a big booty Latina. Like both sides will.
That's a fat ass.
You. Yeah, and it is a fat ass. And I went and I confronted her. I was trying to tell you this story before. I saw her a second time. I said big booty Latina again. Everybody thought it was the same as the first video. It got 1 million views, but it just didn't hit. And I was feeling all sick about it. I was like, I hadn't seen her in 3 years. And I go up there with that weak ass shit again. And then guess what? I go into the freaking Amex lounge at Reagan International Airport. And who is sitting right there next to the buffet? AOC. I walked right up to her. I did not have my phone out. And I was like, Alex, I'm not filming. Let me just apologize. I know you took it as a sexual thing. I wasn't trying to be sexual. I was trying to be polarizing. She accepted my apology, and her and I sat down and had a nice 5-minute conversation. We talked about how some of the issues we agree on. We talked about abortion. We both talked about the First Amendment, how important that is. And long story short, I'm Team AOC. I'm voting for her in 2028. And she's like, Alex, I'm very skeptical of your support, but I will keep an ear open for you in the future. Because I want to have her on my podcast, because even though she's an idiot in some stuff, like just like I'm an idiot in some stuff, like she's not that smart and, some geopolitical stuff. When they ask her geopolitics stuff, she said some dumb stuff. But sometimes it takes a little, to go to my Jewish friends, chutzpah, some, like Thomas Massey, willing to actually, have some balls and take some chances and be bold. And I can actually appreciate her boldness over some of these people that are on the conservative side that just play ball and won't open their fucking mouth for one thing that they disagree on. So I can actually give her, her flowers for, being outspoken. And I think that's what we need, even if I don't agree with some of the shit she's saying.
Did she have security around her?
Nothing. And that's another reason why I liked her. She didn't even have a staffer. I was shook. I was like, and she's like, Alex, I really appreciate you not filming. Da 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 da. We really came to a night. We had a very pleasant conversation. Surprising. At first, she was scared to death of me. I was like, Alex, I promise I'd come here in peace. Da 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 da. And my point is, it made her seem more likable and relatable too. That she was by herself with her bag, and she was dressed, nice, but not super dressed up. So like in a
yoga pants, outfit. Yoga pants.
No, like kind of like a business pants, but not suit, not like a Hillary Clinton pantsuit, but like a little less, like one that you get at, not looking super high class, but also not looking like a slouch. And she was incredibly nice. I couldn't believe it. So my point is that. Yes, she's an idiot. Yes, Spencer Pratt doesn't have any experience, but maybe we need some young people without experience that aren't, establishment shills to start calling the shots.
I think it's going to get harder and harder for that to have.
Oh, it's going to be much harder. But I'm saying these people can't do any worse than the people that are in power now.
Well, what do you think of Nick Fuentes, his take, which I'm almost sure is trolling, where he says now he's just a Democrat. He's supporting the Democrats fully because of the Israel issue. What do you think? Do you think that's genuine?
I do think it's genuine because I think he's in a position right now where he wants to punish the GOP because he did campaign. A lot of people worked hard to get the GOP in power. Yeah. And since they've been in power, the only thing that I could say that they've done really exceptional is they pardoned all the people on January 6th. I thought that was great. But also part of the motivation to do that was to piss off the left. So it's like it wasn't all done just to make other people on the right happy. It was actually done to piss off people on the left. And so he's frustrated that the GOP has not, followed through with any of their campaign promises. So he wants to punish them. And I could kind of understand that perspective. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it 100%, but I understand where he's coming from because he feels like if he doesn't send a message to them that, hey, you guys lied to us, you're going to have a punishment for it. They're going to continue. We're just reinforcing that bad behavior of how they can lie to us on the campaign trail, get in power, and not do anything that they say. So I think he's being genuine, and I don't think he's actually a Democrat. I don't think he has those political ideologies, but I think that by him saying I'm a Democrat and putting his weight behind the Democrats, he'll get people like Hassan, who's now LARPing as him, wearing the tie and stuff, to potentially, kind of create a coalition to defeat the people that he feels like, stabbed him in the back. So I think he's being genuine when he says that, but I don't think he's genuinely a Democrat.
So anyway, you don't just punish them though. You're also punishing yourself potentially by.
Well, why do you think, Alex, that a third party is impossible to get in?
So disappointing.
Because that's not the way the system was set up. The system was rigged from the start. I mean, they just knew that it was going to be the two of lesser evils in every single election. So it's all fake and gay. That's really what it is at the end of the day. Like, any politician that we vote for, it's just right, left. It's nonsense. There should be 10 presidential candidates that we can choose from. I mean, really, there shouldn't even, the president should be like how mayor is in a bunch of cities where you don't even have a political affiliation where anybody could run. So we could actually choose out of a list of people. But instead, if you're not a conservative or Democrat, you're not going to get on the debate stage. People laugh at libertarians, even though I like a lot of libertarians and I like a lot of libertarian ideology.
They're impossible to organize. It's like when you take all the fucking.
It's all done on purpose. If there was actually 4 or 5 different choices, they would end that instantly. So it's because we have a rigged system.
So as a Texan, are you concerned about the influx of Californians and New Yorkers into Texas?
I don't even care if they're an American, and I'm not trying to sound like a xenophobe or a bigot, but dude, in Frisco, Texas, I watch these videos of Instagram accounts from like Frisco in 1986. It was all farmland. It was like 10 white people lived up there. Now it is like Mumbai, India. And because we have what is called the Silicon Prairie, in Silicon Valleys and, San Francisco and that's Northern California. Well, in Dallas, we created Dell Computers and AT&T's headquarters out here. So now all these huge telecommunication companies and tech companies are out here. Everybody's doing H-1B visa fraud, and you can go on Facebook Marketplace, and it'll be like 6-bedroom house with 30 Indians living in it. They'll put 4 Indians per room, and they're like coding all night. So I'm not even. I don't even care about illegal immigration. If a Mexican wants to come across here to become a landscaper or work at a hotel chain, I don't really give a damn about that. I actually am more offended by the H-1B visa fraud because these companies are incentivized to exploit cheap labor from people that have fake college degrees from India instead of choosing American citizens that just went into, huge debt to get a college degree. So we're competing against brown guys, nothing to do with the fact that they're brown, but these are literal liars that are competing for jobs with actual Americans. And it is, I'm not trying to over exaggerate. The whole entire northern Texas area of the DFW Metroplex is all Indians. And it's not even Muslims. There's definitely a lot more Muslims. They're building mosques like crazy. But, dude, it's just insane. There's some neighborhoods. This is what pissed me off. I was in an Uber in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm talking to the guy. He's like, where do you live? I said, I live in Dallas, Texas. He goes, oh, do you spend much time in Las Colinas? I go, as a matter of fact, I work in Irving, Texas. Las Colinas is a suburb of Irving. It's a big city. Las Colinas is a very nice neighborhood. And he goes, oh, do you ever go through Bali Ranch? I go, what the f*** did you say? He goes, oh, do you ever go through Bali Ranch? Bali Ranch, and it took me a second to register. He was talking about Valley Ranch, which is another nice neighborhood inside Irving. And that's where I work. That's where the Cowboys' old facility used to be. So fucking Indian drivers in Phoenix, Arizona know more Indian slang for the city that I live in. I mean, they're calling it Bali Ranch for Valley Ranch because it's so Indian, because they've taken it over. And that's where the Cowboys headquarters was for 30 years before they moved to Frisco. So that's how insane things are. The Uber drivers know slang for my own city that I've lived in my whole entire life. So it's a little much at this point.
Here's the issue is that Indians tend to be conservative. They really hate progressives too. So they bring them all in thinking they're going to be Democrats, because we just had a guest on talking about how her whole city has been taken over by Indians and she actually loves them. The scary things about
I don't hate Indians. I want to make that clear. I don't hate Indians, but
why do you hate Indians so much?
No, but I'm just saying there's a lot. If there was a lot of Ukrainians, I'd be like, man, why are there so many Ukrainians? If there's a lot of white Germans that all lived in the city, I'd be like, there's a lot of Germans there. But I'm just saying it's a lot of Indians. It's not. I don't care that an Indian owns every motel or hotel in the world. I don't care about that.
Hotel, Holiday Inn.
It's just, dude, it's an overabundance. You can tell that they're running some in Hyderabad, with the biggest city or one of the biggest cities in India. They have a sign: "Move to Frisco, Texas," in Hyderabad. So it's like it'd be a little different if they were going to Minneapolis too and LA, but they're just all concentrating in this area. And to see the demographics change so drastically, it is a little bit like. I'm not trying to be like white replacement theory, but there's a lot less
Why wouldn't you
white
want to
people.
talk about that? That's a literal UN policy.
No, it is, but I'm saying that is really what's happening. I know that triggers people, but it's just Frisco, Texas was 98% white, and now it's. I think it's.
You're never going to fix the
57%
problem if we're all worried about feelings. It's never going to get fixed, ever. It's never. I don't care what the issue is. You're never going to fix it if you don't want to be seen as you think what you say is going to be you're going to be seen as a hate monger. It's just never going to get fixed, and it's always going to get worse and worse and worse if you just ignore it. Again, I have a lot of Indian friends. They're fine with me. I don't really hate them. The problem with when you bring in cheap labor is they have to do exactly what you talked about. They have to clump up. They have to put 80 of them in a house, which makes a little Delhi, or little India. And that becomes the weird shit. Like I don't mind if you bring your culture here. It's just in the big scheme, you have to assimilate. Don't come here and set up your own little fucking country in the middle of our country. You can keep your traditions in your house. It's kind of like, either Sharia law, no hide laws, trans, whatever. In your house, do whatever the fuck you want. Outside here, chill the fuck out. Assimilate, dude.
Well, that's what they say. Immigration without assimilation is an invasion. And it just kind of feels like, I mean, I have a lot of Indian friends, but it does seem like they're highly concentrated and they're all staying like 30 people too. And they're staying in a nice house. They're staying in like a 6-bedroom McMansion, right? In a nice neighborhood. And because they all work for these big tech companies. But I guess the reason why I'm frustrated is not that they're Indian, is that they're taking away jobs from Americans, that we don't have enough jobs to go around. They're taking high dollar jobs, $100,000, $150,000 jobs.
You know who should be worried about Indians coming? Black guys. Because Indians become the new minority that white chicks like, because they're dark, they're black, they piss their dad off, but they're also conservative. So it's like,
and
now
they're horny. Indians are horny too.
So horny.
Yeah,
so horny. So we're getting into tech. We're not going to keep you much longer. We're getting into tech. These data centers. We have a giant one about to go that's trying to get passed in Utah. the entire city shows up to protest this data center that's going to be twice as big as Manhattan, ran by the guy from Kevin O'Leary. Is he your friend too? Do you know Kevin O'Leary?
No, he was
Okay.
fighting with Tucker. Tucker had him
Okay.
on him. Was
So
fighting with him.
so we got this data center coming in, twice the size of Manhattan, uses more energy than the entire state of Utah, and the entire city comes in and says we don't fucking want this, and then 5 people are determining whether it's going to happen or not. What is your take on the whole data center movement right now? Are you concerned? Are you for it? Are you excited about them knowing exactly
Dude, these data centers, there's wells and all over Texas where now the people that have had wells there for their families for hundreds of years, they're trying to get water from it. And the wells are dry, or it's really hard, or the water's all muddy, because these data centers, they have to harvest the water, then they have to purify it to keep all the computers cool. They have to use clean water. So they're literally taking water away from farmers, from people that you rely on well water because they're not next to the freaking, water company. So I'm very frustrated with all these data centers. The fact that if you try to buy RAM for a computer, it's $1 billion more than it was just 10 years ago. So I know I don't like it. We're screwed. I guess we have to have these data centers to make I don't know. From what I understand, we get all of our internet from underground cables. So I guess, what are these data centers for? I guess just to run AI. I don't even know why all of a sudden every single city, every single small town is getting a data center the size of Manhattan. I don't know. It's like it's happening in every single state. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, thinks this might be the thing that kicks everybody off. Do you see this as something we can vote our way out of?
No, because that's what's really happening in the world. We all want to complain, but we're being run by multinational corporations, companies like Apple, that is one of the biggest companies in America, but they manufacture all their phones in China. So what these companies do that work in these, different countries, they want to destabilize America. They want to fund elections like Thomas Massey, $11 million in a, bumfuck Kentucky, because these are the real people that are in power.
Are they fucking bums in Kentucky, dude?
No, but you know what I mean. He's in the middle of nowhere. They sent me the airport to go campaign for him, and it's like this small regional airport I've never even heard of. My point is, it's like, why does Miriam Adelson give a damn about what's happening in Lexington, Kentucky? It doesn't make sense.
Because he's the biggest Zionist critic. Get him out there.
I know. Well, no, I know why, but at the end of the day, he's like one congressman out of 435. You shouldn't be that threatened that they're just pulling every rabbit out of the hat to make sure that he loses. Even girls making fake sexual assault allegations.
Well, and they did it to Justin Amash before.
Is that the guy in a wheelchair?
Dude, if you're running.
No, that he was from the House, like Michigan, I think, and he was just another good libertarian guy that they axed. Basically.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to basically cancel him. So if it is 5 people making a decision for a city of 10,000, 100,000, or 1 million people, those 5 people are always going to be corruptible. There's always going to be somebody that can give them some sort of donation for this and that. So I don't have a lot of hope unless we get special interest groups out of politics, which I don't think that's going to happen. Then we're always going to be run by multinational corporations and special interest groups like the dental union, the medical industry. They're always going to be able to influence politicians to vote in their best interests, and they're never going to vote for the people's best interests. Like if they actually took our interests, when making decisions, the world would be a much better place. But it's like, the saying is, if I followed my own advice, I'd be the most successful person in the world. Like they won't even follow their own advice. They won't even do the bare minimum to serve the people that voted them in. As soon as they get a little bit of power, they have to figure out how to keep that power by getting money from these corporations. So we're at the end
Where
of the day,
do you see the country in 5 to 10 years?
In 5 years, I think it's probably going to be, depending on how the midterms go, everybody says it's going to be a bloodbath for the conservatives. I think it'll probably be bad, but not as bad as they're saying. I don't think Vance or Rubio will be able to take the MAGA coalition and just carry it across the finish line. I mean, Hillary Clinton wasn't able to do that with Barack Obama's coalition. So it's not just easy to just take somebody's movement and make it your own. So I think there is a likelihood that the pendulum swings the other way. We get some Democrats in, which I don't really want, but if we have Gavin Newsom or AOC as president, we're going to see immigration spike. We'll see, crime spike, and then people probably get frustrated, and that after 4 years of that, they might vote conservative or they might keep him in power. So I just kind of see there's just the pendulum swinging and everything kind of being the status quo, and they have to continue to do a fake alien invasion. They have to do kind of fake nonsense to distract us. But I think it's going to be more of the same.
If you had, who would be the perfect, outside of primetime Alex Stein, who would be the perfect candidate to run for the Republicans in the next election?
Tucker Carlson. I know he won't, but I think Tucker would be the best guy.
All right, we're going to end on this, buddy. NBA, Dallas Mavericks. You
Mary
get
Madelson owns the team.
Get
Luka.
your boy Chunky Luka traded. Suddenly you get the first pick. You know, are we talking about more magic here with the fucking?
Dude, they did a frozen envelope for Patrick Ewing. They definitely gave Mary Madelson that first pick, because this is how you know that trade was an inside job. When you have a great player like Luka, and if you're going to do a trade in any sports league, whether it's Major League Baseball, hockey, you shop that player around. You pitch him to other teams to see which offer is the best. They didn't even shop Luka. Like, I get it, you don't shop your fifth string center or whatever. You know, you don't need to shop that guy. But when you have a high profile player, you put him on the trade block and you see what you can get. They didn't do that. They made a backdoor deal with LA, Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison, who were best friends before that. And that was all done on purpose to try to help LeBron in his last, twilight years. But it all failed because Luka and LeBron don't even like each other. And Luka probably didn't like being used as a pawn in that whole situation. So, yes, the NBA's rigged, just like all sports leagues are rigged. It's all fake.
Now you're totally out in the Dallas Cowboys. You think they got no chance. You don't like any of the moves they make. They get rid of Michael Parsons, who's got bad back.
This is the problem with the Cowboys is that they and I don't. You guys got to watch the America's Team documentary on Netflix. It really talks about when the Cowboys were on top, but it was just cool to see how the team was run back then. But Jerry Jones used to always sue the NFL because he didn't like that they had a collective bargaining agreement where if you sold merch, if you were the Tennessee Titans, or I guess that they weren't a team back then, but if you were the San Francisco 49ers, well, they sold a lot of merch. But let's say you're a team that didn't sell a lot of merch. Let's say the Broncos. At the end of the day, all of the teams split the merch sales the same. They would all take the same percentage. So Jerry Jones sued the league because the Cowboys sold the most merchandise and they didn't want to get the same thing. If the Cowboys are selling all the hats, they shouldn't make as much money as the Denver Broncos. And Jerry Jones also sued him because he wanted his jersey to be Apex or Reebok, and the league was all sponsored by Nike. So long story short, Jerry Jones has constantly been a thorn in the side of the NFL since his last Super Bowl in 1996. So I think that the people in power, they're like, oh, we already gave him his Super Bowls. We put him in the Hall of Fame. There's no incentive to let the Dallas Cowboys. As a matter of fact, if they let America's team win, it might bring America together a little bit, similar to how 9/11 was. And they don't want that to happen, Sam. So I'm not even kidding when I say that they'll never let America's team win. They always let the Patriots
with Jerry
win.
Jones, because Jerry Jones
yeah.
is in his Al Davis phase right now, where he won a bunch and now he's just an old crazy guy that just wants to get speed and all that shit. But you guys got some decent defensive players. Alex,
we're going to be better this year. But it won't matter. Even if we go to the playoffs, we'll get bounced out in the first or second round. It's going to be an embarrassment. So.
Is your quarterback the man, or is he just hot garbage?
I love Dak. I'm a Dak, and he had a big booty Latina, and he just divorced before they 2 weeks before their wedding. They called it off, so I think he's going to have a big season.
Isn't it crazy? They're like, you, I'm leaving, because they don't want to sign a prenup, so now they lose basically everything.
Oh, is that what it was? Really?
That's what they speculated. And then it was also infidelity. I'm sure Dak was probably answering some DMs. But, it is what it is. You're the star quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Some bitches are going to DM you. I don't think you should be cheating, but
I don't care.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't care, dude. It's not my business, bro. I don't know what's going on in the home. She's taken care of. Her whole needs are taken care of. If he wants to get weird, let him get weird. I do not care. Alex Stein, as always, it's an honor to have you on the show. You are one of my favorite people. I will always enjoy your stuff. That you've gotten to very high levels, and it's amazing to watch. You're fearless.
Let me say this one last thing. I'm actually doing something big on Monday. I can't tell you what it is. I signed an NDA, but James O'Keefe is letting me host his show, and we're breaking a story on Monday. Speaking of sports, I'll just give you this little Easter egg. It is sports related, and I think it's going to be a
LeBron
national
James
story.
is gay. LeBron James
No,
is
but
gay.
we got somebody on a hot mic saying something very salacious. And
What can you say? What sport? Can you say what sport?
See, everybody's been asking me what sport. I'll just say it's a sport that Sam likes. I'll say that.
Okay,
and,
that's
and I will
women's
say this.
basketball.
Not
Women's
soccer.
basketball.
Yeah, it is women's basketball. It's a WNBA. We're maybe actually. I don't want to.
Oh, you fuck.
I don't want to. But this is what's cool. The whistleblower gets to come on the show with me, but I get to, this sounds so bad. I get to be the star of the report and get to be the
You're always
expose.
cool,
Really,
man.
That's cool, dude.
it was really a whistleblower that did it all. So I mean, they get to be on the show with me, but it's just I'm so lucky that and
That's
it's going to
cool,
be a
dude.
big national story. So on
I'm going to
Monday,
take a
we'll
guess.
see.
Do not tell me if I'm right or wrong. I just want on record. It's either sports are rigged or LeBron James is juicing. Those are my two things that I think it's possible. Do not, nice poker face. You didn't say anything. You just start blinking Morse code to me.
We got some juicy audio. Is all I'm going to say. We got some juicy
Nice.
audio. That's
All right, so that drops
Monday.
I'm
Monday.
potentially going to get, and this is the other thing is I signed an NDA. They're like, there's a high chance we're going to get sued for this. I'm like, oh, all right.
boy.
Well,
sign me
will
up,
you
sign-
get sued or will he get sued?
I think technically they will get sued, but I'm sure if
That's the best kind of suing where there's no.
as long as I don't get sued. But even if I do get sued, I think this story is actually going to be. I don't want to lose my whole life, but I think I'll be okay.
We'd be so sad if you did. Alex, one more time. Where can they find you?
Guys, I got a show Monday through Friday after hours with Alex Stein. If you got Dish, it's channel 218. It's also on YouTube and Twitter. So if you guys can't find it, you're not looking hard enough. And Sam, it's always a pleasure. Seriously, now conspiracies are totally the status quo.
My job here
because
is
of people
done.
like yourself, people like Eddie Bravo, even Joe Rogan, putting you guys on. I'm so happy Joe's having you on all the time. You're really, you're firing on all cylinders and you deserve all of the success that you've gotten in the last few years. And it's been awesome to be a part of it and be friends with you.
You're the best, buddy. Okay, let's break down the episode. All right, Johnny. What'd you think of my man, Alex Stein?
He's such a cool guy, right? Love
Yeah,
that.
he's great. I forget who was going after him, but he's like, he's controlled op. I'm like, I don't think so. I hope people understand the joke about don't make fun of Israel. I hope you understood that was a joke and it wasn't being serious.
If you don't, though, I'm not. If you don't, I don't care what you think. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like if you don't understand when people are joking,
Sarcasm and nuance is I think you put those together, you get common sense, right? Is that what equals common sense? Sarcasm, understanding sarcasm and nuance.
well, it's a good indicator that someone has common sense. Yeah, for sure.
So Johnny, we were getting into it. What do you think the big reveal will be?
I have a feeling you're right. It's something to do with something being rigged. It could possibly be like this sounds a little too, it could be like the draft lottery, something like that. But I think it's probably something like,
I think it could be LeBron James on steroids because he's saying he's going to get
Terry
sued.
Rozier something around because they're in Florida, right? That's where Terry Rozier last was. Although he was in Charlotte when he was. I wonder if it's. Yeah, it could be LeBron, but.
Yeah, because that it's so funny because when that story always pops up and then instantly disappears because LeBron's James people call and they got the NBA behind them going, if you continue to talk about this, you're fucking done and you'll not have any access to anything NBA wise. You'll be excommunicated. So they all instantly drop it. Instantly.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got, his people are the worst people too. The people
listen, that story is only going to be protected until LeBron James retires.
While he's got power. Yeah. Although I could see, could you see him becoming Jordan though, where he has his own empire post career, like endures?
I think he's going to try. I just don't think LeBron James is smart enough to pull it off because everything he touches outside of basketball goes to shit.
Yeah, all those TV shows and shit were garbage, dude. His Space Jam. It's just all.
And everyone's like, he should buy the Kings. I'm like, the Kings have been through enough.
Yeah. Why would you wish that on the Kings?
Yeah, they were talking about he wanted to get the Vegas team. I'm like, why would you do that to Vegas? They're suffering already. We don't need.
He's been the best player in basketball, and so that means that whatever team he's on was the best team. like had the best player in basketball, and he still couldn't put a good team around him when he was the one most.
Because he put it around him.
That's what I'm saying. So now you want him to take himself out of the equation,
100%,
and then assemble a good team. No chance.
100%.
And Jordan couldn't do it either, dude. It's just those guys that with that mentality that kind of he has less of it than Jordan.
But they were different because Jordan, when he played, didn't do any of that. Like he wouldn't even step in
but
for
I'm just
Scottie
saying as a
Pippen.
GM, it doesn't.
Yeah,
work.
awful because they personalize it, dude. They're like, oh, I could beat this.
No, you're
guy.
right. Jordan completely wouldn't, like you said, wouldn't stand up for. Yeah, Pippen.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Great show. I mean, to watch him to go from where he went from doing a show in his fucking underwear to rubbing elbows with the biggest, most powerful people out there.
Also, credit to him because he's fucking fearless, dude. Like the shit he does, it's easy to watch and think.
It helps when you're 6'4".
Yeah, it does help. Yeah,
the same thing with Sam. What's his name? Oh, not Sam
Hyde.
Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde is like a 6'6" giant.
Yeah, it's a big guy.
Like he was doing jokes about one of the black guys getting shot like right after it, and nobody fucked with him because he was so fucking big.
That was one of our weirder episodes because you could tell he thought that we were kind of dipshits to begin with, and then he realized like, oh, okay, they're all right. That was a weird one.
I'm the biggest Sam.
Oh man, if there was any justice, like he'd have a deal with Netflix. You know what I mean? Like if Hollywood had any like interest in
the only problem with that is that he'd have to get notes. If they would go, do your thing, we're not going to give you notes. It would be the greatest thing of all time.
Absolutely.
But the minute you give Sam Hyde notes, it goes to shit.
Yeah, he's what Tim Heidecker would be if he had maintained his integrity as a human.
That's got to be one of the biggest letdowns ever. Not to, just to, it's like everyone knows there's satanic pedophiles everywhere, and just to make fun of the people who think that is just and I'm not somebody who's like everything's got to be serious. You can totally do it. It's just it comes off as such fucking detached from reality,
especially now. Like I could get if you wanted to do that at a certain time. But not in this moment. You know what I mean? You're not helping anything, and it's just not. I don't know. I think he's lost his fastball too a little.
And it's so funny because Tim Heidecker had Nick Fuentes on, tried to do a gotcha interview with him, and Nick is so fast.
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah,
it didn't work. He's like, I got a show coming out on blah 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 Showtime, and Nick is like, what is Showtime? Like nobody my age gives a shit about Showtime, and just like totally. Kneecapped him and cut his balls off.
Yeah,
and
let me see if I can find that was the best. Yeah, here it is right here. I can just play a few seconds of it if you want to while we're doing the outro here.
One thing I want to talk about is Nick Fuentes versus Leonardo Joni. That's a crazy battle on the internet. Now, Nick, I don't think has responded. I don't think Nick has responded, but Leonardo's going after him.
What is she going after him about?
That he's a Fed.
Oh, really?
But you don't seem to have a high opinion of me. You think I'm doing something wrong. You don't agree with what I'm doing, and you associate that with Jewish behavior. What's that about? Why is it a derogatory term?
Those are Jewish organizations. Are you not familiar with that?
What are Jewish organizations? The ADL?
The ADLC? Yeah. That is literally what they did it to me. The Zionist Organization of America.
Listen to you. You sound like the fucking John Birch Society, and all we try to do in a civil society is control that kind of rhetoric because it's all
that's
it is.
An interesting word.
All it
control.
Yeah, that's an interesting fucking word, dude.
It sure is. Yeah, let me see. What I can do the Showtime part.
You're not funny,
which is disgusting. You have an opportunity to change the course of your life. You've got an audience. You can speak to that audience. Does it make you feel good when you have this audience that spends their time sending the most just disgraceful, disgusting, hateful language?
Of course it
Why?
does.
Where's that from?
Because he likes to upset people. There's something wrong with his mind.
Have you been? Were you abused? Were you sexually abused? Were you physically abused?
I'm smarter than all of you put together.
How? But listen, Nick. A guy that says that is categorically not that because he just said it. What does that mean? What does that mean that you're smarter than all of us put together? Can you walk me through, dissect that?
You would know what it means.
Tim, he just got out of high school. This is the kind of thing that the kind of burns that
DJ Dog Pound though. Well, like he did naughty show shit. I really do love him though, dude. Here's the whole thing with all this, dude. It's just like the left can't come to grips with they don't control the culture anymore. That's why when Tim uses that word control, that has some real meaning to it.
Civil society, we control those kinds of things.
Yeah, right. You can't control it anymore because what people have seen over time is the hypocrisy and the fine print of all your rules. You don't have a set rule. There's only one rule that I respect, and that is don't use the word kike. That's the only rule I respect because
they don't use it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. So you say, hey, we don't call it kikes, right? We don't do that. Guess who doesn't call it kikes? Every other rule that you have created for these protected classes are automatically violated by the class you're trying to protect. So it's not a real rule. But the kike, I totally respect that, dude. I mean, I don't even like saying that word, even example, but I just wanted you guys to know what I'm saying. But I respect that rule, dude.
Everybody except Ari Shafir, maybe.
Literally Ari is the only one
he's
who
the only
violates that rule, right?
Yeah.
Do you see Ari at the roast, like in a suit? It was so funny to see.
No, really? Oh, wow.
Like he looks like he would be great to play Willy Wonka when you see Ari in a
hold
suit.
on. Okay, I'll Google that I'll play the rest of this while I'm looking that up.
Idiot band, and that there was no begging and there was no seething. I just want you to be straight with your audience.
Said at YouTube support. You tagged them twice. You tagged two different.
Good for me. Good for me. I should get a gold medal.
Did you see where?
Putting up the Showtime thing. Huh?
Tyrant.
I think it's way earlier.
Goodbye, Luz.
Oh, is it early? It's all right. I can't find it.
I think it's like in the middle. But it's fine. Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? Did you see? By the way, I think this is real, dude. Someone has got a digital ad driving around L.A. Karen Bass, like a hit piece kind of thing, driving around L.A. here. Look at this. Maybe it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look. See, it's all like an AI kind of. It's showing her shopping in Africa while the city burns.
Yeah. I mean,
there it is in Venice. Look at that.
I have to leave. I'm leaving now. You'll know why.
Dude, if there was any kind of common sense in the city, that would just be a bullet to the brain of any candidate for
right. Office. Right. And then I got this fucking retard on Twitter going, TMZ should just stick with politics. They're so good. It's like, get the out of here, dude. Just get out of here.
Wait,
dude.
What do you mean TMZ should just stick with politics?
Let me see if I can find it. Dude.
Are they serious or are they joking? Yeah.
No, dude, this is a guy that was yelling. I think his name's Chase Mitchell.
Okay.
And he's like a writer on some show. And he would just DM me about how dumb I am about vaccines and viruses. So forever, I would just be sending him all these studies about how dangerous vaccines are. He's like, stop sending me these things. I'm like, exactly, dude. Exactly, dude. So then he put out, TMZ should just do politics. And I forget if he said it was so good. I forget the end of it, but it would basically the vibe of it was TMZ did a great job with Spencer Pratt calling him out on his lying.
And he handled that perfectly, by the way.
It's fucking great.
Called in and it's just we won't play it, but he called in and just took it on head on and
he's like, dude, they just turned on my water. They just turned on my electricity. Yeah. It's like I can't live in there because they won't give me water and they won't give me electricity. And by the way, I got all these death threats coming. I'm an open shot for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and did you see, I don't know if you saw Harvey Levin, idiot, was just doing an interview where he was talking about how the whole city's falling apart. We'll play it on BS, but it should be in a campaign ad for Spencer Pratt.
The PR branch of the Epstein pedophile network is really upset with Spencer Pratt for lying about living in a hotel.
Yeah.
He has kids, Harvey, you fucking idiot. Like your kids can't live in that fucking trailer. Kids aren't built for that shit, especially when they go from a nice house. It's like, what are we doing here?
It's total. And it's that is This is not. I don't know. Them. Yeah. Anyway, what do you got? What do you got going on? Let me pull up your website.
Yeah, please. And I want to show you. Alex Stein sent me the picture.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll get back to that after we do a little promo here. SamTripoli.com, the greatest.
Go to SamTripoli.com. Monday night I'm running my special comedy store. And then May 22nd, I'm doing a comedy special taping. Then I'm at Costa Mesa, Albuquerque, the 1000th episode in Austin sold out. Then I just added a date. If you can go to the next one, Johnny, next page. Sure. Oh, Miami. That's all I want to do. Then I just added Miami, July 31st and the 1st. And after that, St. Petersburg for the Joke World Comedy Fest, the inaugural one. Very exciting. Lawerence, Kansas, Tulsa. And then the last one is Austin. So grab your tickets now. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do much on the date, anything else. Back to this finally.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah, hold on. Let me put it in the chat. Hold on, dude. Just Johnny, chill. Will you fucking chill, Johnny, please? Just fucking chill. Here we go.
You're texting it?
Yeah, I put it in a DM.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me just see if I can share that.
Bang, bang, pow.
Download it. Let me just download it. There we go. Did it download? Oh, can you just talk a second?
Hi, guys. We're just doing the best we can, whenever we can, to whoever we can.
All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. Alex is a big fella.
Alex was a big boy.
Alex
look
is
at that.
Taller than both of them.
Wow.
He's taller than Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford.
Holy shit, he was. He was a chunky kid.
He played for the White Sox, apparently.
Amazing. I can't believe they didn't win a state title with those three. By the way, that's not a lot of players on a baseball team. Am I wrong here? Is that even?
Yeah, no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly 9 players. Yeah.
He didn't have any bench guys?
It's just like the Dodgers, basically. It's just like one pitcher that they have to run through, and in the playoffs they have to have a
unbelievable, dude. That's just shocking to me. Shocking. Alex is great. You know, we have these kind of fun, weird shows with, Kurt Metzger and Alex Stein. So this has been great.
My favorite kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, probably after the 1000th, we'll probably start getting. I mean, we're just gonna keep going, Johnny. We gotta sit down and decide a lot of stuff about the show.
I know. We
have to have a powwow, bro. A powwow.
Yeah. I'm waiting for. Dana's supposed to be giving me the info of the people on the ground there. So
okay, I'll hit up Red Band today. Johnny, that's it. I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
All right,
I'm tired. So thank you guys for listening. A lot of fun. Big things.
By the way, you know what? We should address XG camping. He told us he's camping. He's camping at an EDM show in Las Vegas. That's where he's camping.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we got this other dude putting out the episodes quicker because this guy's got to do fucking Molly.
He told us he was camping though, and then on the way out, I was like, "Where are you camping, bro?" I was thinking like, "Oh, what are you going like Yellowstone or something?"
Like, dude, how old are you? You're still fucking going to EDM concerts. I'm gonna ask him that next time.
Yeah, you're using hymns. If you're using hymns, you shouldn't be going to EDM concerts.
Yeah, seriously, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, we love XG, but that's just funny. He called it camping.
Unbelievable camping. I just retards. All right, dude. Enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
Do you think Nick Fuentes is serious about saying he's voting Democrat now? Like he's become a Democrat? That's what he's telling everybody. And I assume it's just more trolling from him.
Yeah, I think he's just a trickster, dude.
What do you think about the idea, though? Like of just go and saying, like, you know what? Let's punish the Republicans. Like, there's nothing to that, right? That doesn't work. That's not. I mean, you're just.
How about this, Nick? How about you just say, "How about don't vote for anybody"? How about that, Nick?
Yes.
I ain't gonna I'm gonna vote Democrat. Why not? I don't like. Who am I voting for right now? That was my Nick Fuentes.
That's
really
good.
bad.
I like that. Yeah. No, that's not
thank
bad.
you.
Thing that
Thank
I
you.
don't even see.
Oh,
a lot
that
of
was
people
pretty
talking
good.
about, but
I don't see a lot of people
It's a
even
really
talking about it right now.
big deal, and it's part of why I switched parties. Part of why I'm so proud now to be a Democrat in 2026.
He's clearly having,
and our featured story is all
clearly having some fun with this. But I mean, I know people who think he's serious.
About a group of House Democrats led by Joaquin Castro, another Hispanic Latino Democrat. They wrote a letter to the Trump government, and they are now demanding
this is fun
that the U.S. government expose and acknowledge that Israel maintains an arsenal of nuclear weapons. Holy based?
Holy based?
How can anybody vote Republican? How can anybody be a Republican in 2026? What do they even do? What do they even do other than exonerate Jewish pedophiles, steal money, give amnesty to illegal aliens? What does the GOP even do? This is why I'm a proud Afro-Latino Democrat.
What do you think about that? He's just having fun, right? I don't think he's,
Obviously,
I know people think
I don't
he's
think
serious.
he would ever vote Democrat.
Yeah, I don't think he's serious.
And he's totally right, dude. Real quick, Jeffrey Wilson is in the comment section. Local celebrity,
Shout
everybody. Local celebrity.
Shout out
Jeffrey Wilson.
Another
Jamie
thing
Stott,
that people
wonder if
were
it's her
taking
birthday.
seriously. Shout out, Jamie Stott, happy birthday. Another thing people are taking seriously, and I'm curious if you think it's real. I'm pretty sure it's not real. This is Andrew Santino on Caleb Presley, whatever.
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. I want to watch this.
He went to UNC, by the way, Caleb Presley. Shout out.
On your podcast.
Yeah.
Do they send you topics to avoid or not bring up like you did with us today?
I did that, or my team did that?
Just the things that you said, please don't bring these topics up.
I sent you an email saying, don't mention Israel, because I know you guys do that every week on the show. And I was like, don't bring that up.
We just shout them out. I mean, we're not like bringing up topics. I don't want you to say shout out Israel.
Sure, but this feels heavy. I don't censor our guests. They tell us what they want cut.
Is gig short for giggle?
Gigstein. Marcus Gigstein was one of the first men to start paying people to do impressions and voices.
Shout out Israel.
That's funny, right? He's just joking, right? Like, don't you think he's playing into that, or do you think he really?
I
told
think
him not
he's
to bring
playing into it. I think Andrew Santino is a 5-tool player. I think he's good at everything: acting, writing, stand-up, podcasting. I bet you the guy can sing too. I mean, he's just an all-around 5-tool entertainer. That seems theatric to me.
Yeah,
that seems theatric.
What do you think of that genre of thing? Like he does it. Caleb Presley does it. He's not the first. The first or the one of the earliest was like Between Two Ferns, right? With Galifianakis. Yeah. Then you had Eric Andre. But these like fake, really heavily edited jump cut interviews where it's pretty like if the person being interviewed is not in on it, they're an idiot. What do you think of that style? Because to me that's it's all just. I'm not a fan.
I like
honestly.
it. I mean, I love Between Two Ferns. I thought it was brilliant, and I like that show. I like the other one you mentioned. What was the other one you said was Eric Andre? That was super funny.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it's funny. Here's the thing: everything is an extension from Tim and Eric, and it just really sucks that Tim and Eric have gotten really political. It's like if you start out political, I'm fine with you being political. But if you make it and even though Tim and Eric is not mainstream at all, Tim and Eric is the definition of alt comedy, right? And they're probably very progressive. Not probably, they are. But it just really sucks that their take on Alex Jones and how they're okay with that fucking complete and utter sham of a trial.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Bro, when Spencer Pratt came on Tinfoil Hat, I remember hitting up girls that I knew used to watch The Hills, and I'd be like, look what I just had on. You wish you fucking knew me, huh, bitch?
Yeah.
They all said, oh, he's such a fucking asshole. Are you really gonna run for mayor? I wouldn't vote for him. All because He was an asshole on some fucking reality TV show.
To his wife that
To
he's
his
married
wife.
to now. I think it's okay by now. I don't know. It's just because he couldn't be toxic back then. You had to be like all sweet and fake, and he wasn't. So
He wasn't. Was he really an asshole? I never really watched The Hills.
I don't think so, because I even like watch clips back, and like with him being an asshole, and he's just a normal guy. He's just, you know. But back then you couldn't like do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. But like I saw this ad and I thought it was kind of funny.
His ad reads are the best.
So this isn't his. I don't know who made this. It's just an AI one, but I thought it was kind of cool. Maybe we'll see what you think. Aye.
You didn't finish burning the city to the ground in your first term. Make sure you finish the job in your second.
The only thing that can stop us is someone telling the truth. As long as they don't have any hope, the city's ours.
This is legit.
Nobody's ever done this before. No one's ever spoken truth to power in LA.
Is that Rogan?
If one man's brave enough to think things can change, everyone will realize things can change. You need to stop him.
Who's that?
Our children deserve to be safe.
Oh, they're just white people.
You had 20 years to fix things.
Enough is enough.
I would totally just do AI ads all the time.
Yeah, that's Bart's new fucking business.
True.
Bart doesn't even do barbecue
Can you
anymore. It's
imagine
supposed to
Bart
just-
fucking made this? That'd be sick.
Hey, but okay.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, I don't know. I can't even vote. So to me, it's irrelevant who the fuck I would want to vote for, who I say to vote for. But what's up with this fucking Spencer Pratt and the whole Israel flag being woven around and
Yeah,
shit?
I don't know. That's old
Like-
though. Who cares?
No, there's a new one.
Just kidding.
Oh, dude,
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around. I just wanted to piss you off.
You fucking got me. I was like, what up, bitch?
I know.
Those are not. There was one of them that was old when he said happy birthday to Israel. That one was old.
Yeah.
But there was this new video of him waving the flag, the Israel flag, maybe what 2-3 weeks ago, which is super sus. And
But I didn't see it on his page.
well, of course,
I saw that guy posting about it. I thought I put it on here.
James Lee.
Yeah.
James Lee's who was kind of bashing him for.
Okay, so I have. Which one do you want me to do? The first one or the second one? The second one.
The first one. That one. Go do that one. My
Okay.
bad. That
No,
one.
you're good. I'll
but
play it right now.
but go
ahead.
But that's the thing, because
That's old, right?
yeah, I think that one's old. Yeah, for sure, that one's old. But I thought he was gonna. Okay, look, I think he should win because first of all, he lost his fucking house to the mayor, who is half the reason, I would say, all the Palisades. What is it called?
Palisades.
Palisades. I think she's half the reason that should burn the fuck down. You're the mayor. You should be at part to blame for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you're full to blame for, but you have to be at some type to blame for. So him trying to run, I think, is actually a pretty good idea. But
The Israel thing's weird.
Israel thing's weird, and I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Karen Basura or I'm the other fucking Tish chick, I'm just saying, what happened last time we let a reality TV star win? Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
That's his biggest downfall. I'm not that in Israel. Other than
What if
that,
they're with Israel too? So they can't say it, and that's why they quit. They're just like, fine, fuck it.
yeah. But then it's the other thing where I just said. It's
What?
you
Reality star.
You're a reality star. Last time we had a reality star TV, what happened? Where are we now with the country? That's what they're gonna play because that's what technically
They
is.
tried that. Remember, they said like we have a MAGA guy, and
Yeah.
then he just like made a face, and it was funny. So I don't know. I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, play it. Yeah, go ahead. Old school clip. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Israel, to 70 years and 70 more.
It's almost like no matter who you vote for, you get Benjamin Netanyahu.
Happy birthday, Israel, to
See, but
70
how old is
years and 70
But
more.
He doesn't
It's
even
almost
explain-
like no matter who you vote.
That's not the right one.
Okay, no, but
What's up?
Okay. I don't care how old it is. I really don't. Because when's the fucking last time you said happy birthday to a country that you're not from? I might say happy birthday, America. You might say if you were born here, if you grew up here.
It's weird as fuck.
I love Mexico, but I don't ever think I've been like happy birthday, Mexico.
You should, but you don't want no attention.
I don't know.
You say happy birthday to America all the time, even when it's not even.
No, but we
remember
don't
when
say,
you text me and you're just like.
But we don't say happy birthday. We say happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
We're not saying happy birthday. I don't know. This is just weird. I mean, maybe is there other countries in the world that celebrate their birthday like that? Like happy birthday.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just very weird.
It is weird. I don't know.
And then why? Okay, why not? Why doesn't he wish every other country happy birthday? Why that one?
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm saying it's just
shady.
weird, shady shit.
It is from a long time ago, but I don't know about the recent one. I mean,
can you play the other one?
Oh, what the hell?
You lost it.
Well, I had it.
Oh, my bad.
I thought we were done.
Oh no, I thought we were gonna play both of them.
I'll play both. My bad. Hold on.
Because I think the other one's when he gets called out, as in like
he explains it.
Yeah, he tries to explain it better.
All right, Spencer Pratt running for the mayor of Los Angeles, wishing Israel a happy birthday. Let's talk about what the hell is going on here.
Happy birthday, Israel, to 70 years and 70 more.
I mean, I don't know how many Americans have, said happy birthday to a foreign country. Right, so that was in 2018.
Thank you.
That clip was in 2018.
Okay. You did not say this in your post.
Who cares?
And I think that's very important. This was in 2018, 8 years ago.
This is from 6 days ago. He's hoisting an Israeli flag, saying, a night of unity, pride, and purpose, USA, Israel, standing together, celebrating our roots and our resilience and our future. So I feel like this is sort of indicative of his position, which is exactly the same as it was in 2018.
I mean, look, if he comes out and addresses your video and he says, I'm a friend of Israel, but I'm not giving them any money, I have no problem with that.
Right, that's another thing, too. I looked this up. The city of Los Angeles has given $238 million of taxpayer money in 2025 to Israel.
Like we've said before, there is a difference between supporting Jewish people and supporting
100%,
Israel.
100%.
So we have to see what he actually does if he becomes mayor and if he addresses the situation.
I think he should address it and say, would you give money to Israel? Like, would you give LA taxpayer money to Israel? And so the answer is yes. I think that to me is like a disqualifying position. Because money that Angelinos pay should stay in LA to fix.
No, I agree.
You know, to make another analogy, I don't want to always use Trump as the analogy, but here I'm going to use it, is that he said a lot of the things that people wanted to hear before the election, right? We're going to clean up the food supply. We're not going to get into any more wars. We're going to help people buy houses, you know, cheaper gas, all this stuff that was good for Americans. And look, he's just a puppet for Israel. So I'm worried.
See? I mean, I
don't know what to think.
And that's crazy to think that money, tax dollar money that's meant for LA isn't staying in LA. Like, what? Even if you told me it's going to Orange County, I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is the tax money? Why is it that I'm paying a ticket for sweep cleaners here in LA and the money is somehow ending up in Orange County? I'd still be mad. But let alone it's in another fucking country.
The whole thing is just shady.
It's fucking
but
shady,
also,
dog.
it's like, who would you? I mean, you're gonna be fucked either way. You know how like Sam says, like.
Yeah, we're fucked. Yeah,
you know?
most likely. Like, I mean.
It's just like, what monster do you want to vote for?
Yeah, but and before Chili got here, because she did tell me that Karen Basura had dropped out. But I told her even before I had seen that, I had heard that. I told her, I was like, go look at her Instagram.
Yeah.
Look at her likes compared to Spencer Pratt. If she wins, that's how you know this shit's rigged. How you gonna tell me the people? It's a democracy. I'm not saying Instagram's the democracy. I'm not saying Instagram shows you who should win or not. But when you have 100,000 likes,
homeboy, Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.